Someone says, I know that name very well, and things get real serious. A white-haired guy is shown trapped, described as uncontrollable. This same guy, a swordmaster, is stuck in his room and losing it. Now he's labeled, a man out of his mind, holding a flower like he's in a drama. Dramatic spotlight. It's Ghislain Perdian, Count Perdian's useless, oldest son, not looking useless. The strongest northern knight can't believe he lost to that garbage human being. This beaten-up knight is fuming. He just got humiliated in front of everyone. Ghislain's shadowy figure roasts him, pretty warm and cozy. That trap cost a fortune. Ghislain walks out of the fire with a massive axe, like a boss in a video game. Ghislain, masked and mysterious, grins and asks, do you like it? Total savage. The blonde villain realizes his master plan has been totally exposed. The mysterious axe warrior approaches, ready for the ultimate showdown. The warrior reveals he knew their entire army's numbers all along. The hooded figure claims he even knew every single traitor present. Russian dolls show the depth of the spy network and reinforcements. The all-seeing eye proves the warrior was aware from the very beginning. The villain is in complete disbelief, insisting he was always the ace up the sleeve. He screams in rage, unable to accept being outplayed by someone he called useless. The axe warrior delivers a devastating kick to the villain's face, ending his rant. The mysterious champion stands victorious, towering over his defeated enemy. The knight boasts he'll win every war, every single time, forever. Smiling in front of a huge fire, the blonde guy says he's got all the plans. Flashback. We're at a military camp in Luthania Kingdom a year ago. Someone wakes up in bed, panicking, confused, asking what just happened. The blonde guy sits up suddenly, shocked. He can't believe he's alive. He grabs his neck, remembering that just a while ago he was in real trouble. A gigantic, menacing sword crashes dramatically down from the sky. The giant blade hits the ground in the middle of an epic battlefield. The blonde hero is wounded and barely holding on, blood staining his face. He collapses dramatically, blood flying, taking the worst day ever to new heights. Ghislain Perdian, the mercenary king, faces defeat at the hands of Aiden. Aiden declares the war is finally over with a confident smile. Aiden asks for last words, but Ghislain just mourns his unfulfilled revenge. Ghislain, bloodied and furious, shouts his final insult at Aiden. Aiden just laughs off Ghislain's rage, calling him arrogant. Aiden reveals he knows Ghislain's tragic family past after his sister's death. Ghislain, shocked, demands to know how Aiden learned about his past. Aiden reveals he spent years hunting Ghislain down for answers. Aiden confesses he helped take down Ghislain's family with allies. Ghislain is left speechless and shocked by Aiden's huge betrayal. Surrounded by shadows, the hero learns Duke Delphine's not the only enemy. The red-haired villain taunts our battered hero, telling him to accept fate. The hero explodes with rage, shouting he'll never forgive his enemy. The villain coldly replies, okay, completely unfazed by the threat. In a dramatic swing, the red-haired villain seemingly finishes off our hero. Suddenly, our hero wakes up, shocked he's alive with his head still on. Staring into water, he wonders if it was all a hallucination. He's young again. Confused and suspicious, the hero thinks maybe he's now a mage's lab rat. Someone urgently calls, young master. Getting the hero's attention inside the tent. Ricardo, a per diem soldier, enters, telling the awakened young master to come out. This guy looks ready to interrogate with some serious intensity and a sword. He promises the scared dude, answer me and you might live. But then, plot twist. The one with the purple eye says, or maybe not. The guy with sweat running down his face recognizes him. Why, young master? Our sword-holding blonde declares, no means no, while holding him hostage. The blonde wonders why his captive is so chill. He's being threatened for real. Then suddenly, they're fighting and arguing about a forgotten tantrum nap. Nap guy's like, did you seriously forget everything after napping? The blonde is in disbelief, the orcs. Why does that sound bad? Nap guy rushes to pack, with blonde yelling, get your stuff, people are waiting. The blonde guy is freaking out, asking where they're going with his stuff. His friend drops the bomb. They're headed to the Perdium estate. The blonde's eyes pop out of his head in pure shock. He grabs his friend, yelling, say that again. This is serious. The blonde guy is panicking. Perdium fell, it shouldn't even exist. He looks out over the whole estate, but it's standing tall and untouched. Blonde guy is in disbelief. He saw Perdium burn to the ground before. His friend thinks he just had a nightmare and warns him about the count. To check reality, he pinches himself. Am I dreaming right now? Ouch. Nothing changes. He's definitely not dreaming, and he's so confused. I see my younger face in my home, exactly how it used to be. I can't believe it. I just traveled back to the past. My younger self really hated living in that gigantic household. Feeling inferior got me into trouble, and people started ignoring me. The criticism broke me, so I just ran away from home. Several years went by, and everything changed for me. I became a mercenary, fought endless battles, and made a legend for myself. I came back to make things right, but my home was destroyed. Everything was gone. My house, my family, my hope. But now that I am back, this time, I can change everything. Our main character looks up, relieved his loved ones are still here. He can't believe his luck and wants to burst out singing. But wait, He reminds himself it's too early to celebrate. With a friend, he remembers their mission to raid the orcs. Today is no average day. This one is burned into memory. It's the day when most of the raid squad will die. In a past life, he joined the squad, hoping to become famous. The scouts said there were only 3 orcs. Piece of cake, right? Surprise. More than 20 orcs show up, and it's total chaos. Now, he's worried nobody will trust him, because they think he's useless. Out of nowhere, the ground explodes as a mysterious hero jumps in. The soldiers freak out. One yells, "It's the orcs." Massive orcs charge at terrified soldiers, swinging weapons like a fantasy football team. Our blonde hero is shocked the orcs arrived so quickly, questioning his past life choices. Orcs rampage through the front line, sending soldiers flying like ragdolls at a theme park. A commander screams at the troops, "Get into formation," like it's gym class all over again. Raid squad commander Skoven sprints in, yelling, "Do not panic. Get into defense formation." Orcs smash through, sending soldiers sky high. Skoven barely avoids a major beatdown. Commander Skoven realizes the squad's totally unprepared and way outnumbered. They're in big trouble. A panicked soldier shouts to Skoven, "Commander," hoping for an epic game plan. The huge red beast raises his weapon to smash the knight. Behind you. The ground explodes as the red beast and knight are slammed away by something massive. The older knight is grabbed quickly, shocked by a sudden rescue. The mysterious white-caped swordsman rushes in fast, distracting the raging beast. The older knight looks back, confused, and says, "Huh?" The white-caped swordsman slices at the beast. "Young master." The young swordsman's attack stops the beast's axe in its tracks. The beast's weapon shatters, sending pieces flying everywhere. The kid looks unstoppable. The older knight screams in pure disbelief at the insane turn of events. Even the armored soldiers are totally blown away by the young swordsman's wild power. A monster is destroyed, but it's a seriously messy scene. The hero with twin swords faces down a giant, ready for battle. He says he can't use magic and wishes he'd gone back sooner. The hero asks the armored guy, "You're the commander, right?" The hero boldly demands, "Give it." The armored commander looks shocked and says, "Sorry?" The hero insists. The commander writes, like he's ordering at a drive-thru. Hero confidently asks, "Give me the right to command," without hesitation. Commander thinks it's wild to hand over command during this crisis. Commander walks away, leaving the hero completely stunned by his refusal. The knight refuses to hand over command to the young master. The young master gets annoyed but totally understands the knight's reaction. Suddenly, a giant red monster charges straight at both of them. The knight yells for the young master to fall back because he's too inexperienced. The young master sighs, saying he has no choice but to step in. With lightning speed, the young master takes down the knight, shocking everyone. The furious knight grabs the young master and demands to know what he's doing. The knight's face is dripping in sweat. He's realizing things aren't going as planned. The knight looks totally stunned, clearly confused by the whole situation. The monster stands frozen, a sword in its head, defeated while the knight stares in disbelief. The monster's face fills the screen, mouth open in shock and pain. A sword is plunged into the monster's weak spot. 2 heroes stand above. The armored knight is stunned, asking, how did he hit his weak spot? The knight turns to Skoven, asking if he knows Battle's most important rule. The soldiers look terrified as the enemy charges at them aggressively. Huge red monsters roar, terrifying the soldiers as they try to shield themselves. Voiceover explains, "If you're scared, you can't win any battle." Skoven steps up and says, "We need to gain momentum." Skoven strikes, taking out a monster, determined to turn the tide. Skoven launches himself overhead, sword raised, leading the charge for victory. The young master charges in, smashing a huge orc while knights look shocked. The mustached knight is stunned. This wasn't in his Monday morning plan. Sword dripping, the young master taunts, "Come at me, orcs." Standing atop a fallen beast, he yells, "I'll kill all of you." A whole squad of orcs charges at him. This is getting out of hand. He slices through multiple orcs with impossible ease. Those monsters never stood a chance. The mustached knight is so stunned he asks, "Am I dreaming?" He can barely fight using magic, but the young master destroys orcs like it's nothing. The mustached knight notices the young master is exhausted but still standing strong. However, something big is about to happen. The young master dodges with insane skill, barely moving to avoid attacks. He counters quickly, slicing the monster's weak spot with crazy swordsmanship. It looks like he's channeling a literal sword god. No, something even crazier. An older guy's eyes go wide. He is totally shocked by this power. The blonde hero taunts, "Is this all you got? I'm not even sweating." While running, our hero mocks the orcs for being so underwhelming in battle. Soldiers freak out as every orc charges after the young master. Did he just bail? The commander steps forward, cape flaring, as everyone is yelling for him. The shocked older guy can't believe what the young master is planning. The young master drew all orcs in, but why is he running now? Our heroes are right at the edge of a gigantic cliff. The mustached commander suddenly realizes, wait, is that really a cliff? The commander freaks out, sweating. Don't tell me we're about to fall. He shouts, "Troops, raise a shield wall." As an enemy charges, determined, the commander decides, we'll follow the first sun, no turning back now. Huge red-skinned warriors start charging. It's an all-out rush for the cliff. The blonde hero tells Scoven, "You've figured out my wild plan, right?" Even then, things are about to get crazier. Nobody's safe yet. The hero admits, "I'd love to take them all, but I'm beat." With a bloody grin, the hero declares, "You can handle the rest." The red-skinned warriors charge forward, weapons raised, ready for battle chaos. Two fierce orc-like leaders glare ahead, pumped up and totally menacing. The armored soldiers brace behind sturdy shields, forming an unbreakable defense line. The main hero grins and whispers, "Perfect. You know something wild is coming." The hero leaps from the cliff while red warriors look shocked and clueless. As the hero falls, sword in hand, he commands, "Now." It's about to go down. The mustached commander yells, "Troops," calling everyone to action like a general on caffeine. The commander screams, "Push them off the cliff." The army surges aggressively forward. The clash explodes. Orcs and soldiers collide, bodies flying everywhere, pure epic chaos. Soldiers and their leader shout in desperation. The intensity is through the roof. The armored hero launches orcs off the cliff like they're trash at a party. The orcs tumble down hopelessly, looking more surprised than my bank account. The orcs hit the ground, and let's just say they're not getting up. The exhausted soldiers celebrate, cheering, "We did it. Orcs are toast." The guy in blue armor yells, "Young master," in full dramatic Mr. Beast fashion. The young master barely hangs on, grabbing his blade mid-fall. Epic save incoming. Close up on the young master's fierce face. This guy's tougher than morning coffee. The mustached knight is so shocked, he looks like he just saw my last test score. The mustached knight narrows his eyes, channeling some serious dad energy here. He reaches down, yelling here, "Grab my hand," ready for the most clutch rescue ever. Ghislain tries to grip his sword, but his hand is shaking hard. Ghislain starts to fall from the cliff as someone yells, "Hold on." The knight's face goes pale and shocked watching Ghislain fall. Someone screams, "Young master," in panic as things look bad. A mysterious girl says Ghislain Opa, in a haunting tone. Ghislain sees the girl and is super confused. Elena. Shattered memories swirl. Elena asks if mom is gone, thanks him, and gets upset. Elena's memory yells, "You're the worst." While Ghislain stands alone in the void, Ghislain realizes, "These are my memories of Elena," and looks thoughtful. Suddenly, someone grabs Ghislain's arm from behind and shouts, "Opa." The blonde girl shouts, "Let's go together," grabbing someone's hand with urgency. A blonde guy wakes up, drenched in sweat, confused and staring at the ceiling. The guy lies in bed alone. The room is silent and filled with tension. He checks his hand, realizes, "I am alive. Looks like they managed to save me." He sits up, clutching his head, wondering, was that a dream? Suddenly, lightning zaps around him and he groans, Sitting up, he thinks, "My entire body hurts," realizing he pushed himself to the limit. The maid steps in, calling out, "Master?" As she notices him awake in bed, the maid runs in excitedly, exclaiming, "You're awake." The guy looks at her, surprised, murmuring, "Belinda." Belinda scolds the boy for not letting soldiers fight the orcs. The boy suddenly hugs Belinda, catching her completely off guard. Belinda panics, but the boy says he's just happy to see her. The boy remembers how Belinda, his loyal tutor, always stayed by his side. But after tragedy struck, Belinda disappeared and he never saw her again. The boy can't believe he's hugging Belinda like this after so long. He decides it's time to finally tell Belinda the truth. He warns Belinda that a catastrophe is about to hit Paradum. Belinda is confused as the boy begins to reveal his secret. The boy confesses he died and came back to life. Belinda thinks he's joking. Blonde guy learns he's in more danger than per diem and gets worried. The maid says if he keeps acting up, he might end up in jail. The maid questions what he'd do if he missed the festival from being hurt. The blonde guy looks confused and mutters, "Festival." The maid reminds him that Lady Elena has been waiting to go with him. She jokes it's a great chance for them to get close again. Blonde guy remembers there's always a festival this time of year, holding a photo. He recalls he never enjoyed festivals before due to a traumatic past life. He asks the maid how long until the festival. She says about a week. The blonde guy stares off, repeating, "Week," like he's in a drama series. On the day everything changed, Elena walked in and called for her brother. The blonde guy remembers a haunting moment that seriously messed with his life. Elena begs, "Please go with me," clutching his arm like it's $1 million prize. Next week, Elena will die, and the stakes just got higher than a Mr. Beast challenge. He hugs Elena tightly, not letting go, like he's protecting the last slice of pizza. The girl with red eyes looks stunned, probably wondering if she stepped into a drama. Elena panics, blushing, demanding to know what prank he's pulling with this hug. The guy whispers, "I missed you," totally serious, like it's the final episode twist. Elena freaks out, shoves him hard, yells he's creeping her out. She's got serious arm strength. As he coughs on the floor, he's amazed by Elena's power, questioning if she's always this strong. Elena confronts the blonde guy, demanding to know what game he's playing. The guy gets called out for being super rude in the past. He's cringing at his old self and apologizes to Elena, awkward. Elena's friends are shocked. He apologized first? Must have taken a hit. The blonde guy insists he's fine, but they're sure he got whacked. Suddenly, he clutches his chest and looks like he's being zapped. Elena teases him, saying he claimed victory, but came back unconscious. Elena and her friend laugh. The guy sits up, totally confused by life. He smiles softly, realizing everyone still acts just like he remembers. He wonders, why did I waste so much time on pointless stuff? I bailed on Elena's festival invite and blamed the raid squad drama. That heartbreaking moment? Turns out, that was the last time I saw Elena. Later, Elena and her bodyguards were found dead. This got way too real. I'm freaking out, thinking, dude, I should have stayed with Elena. I'm slumped on the floor when Elena and her maid ask to come in. Bodyguards Jamal and Philip show up like, we're here for Elena. Elena questions why the guards came in. They're like, the servants needed supply help. I go, huh? Why would Elena work on festival supplies? The maid roasts me for being lazy, says everyone's so busy that Elena helps out too. As Elena leaves with the guards, I admit I didn't care about this stuff back then. The blonde guy stands confidently and says, let me help as well. The blonde girl looks totally shocked, like she just saw a unicorn. The girls can't believe he volunteered to help. They think he hit his head. Cut to a busy marketplace packed with stalls and bustling people. The maids argue, saying nobody wants blonde guy's help. Chaos guarantee. Blonde guy gets dragged away, still insisting he just wants to be useful. He thinks about Elena's body being found far from the festive grounds. Determined, he realizes he must learn every secret escape in the castle. Suddenly, a blue creature charges in, and someone shouts, Ghislain, my lord. Blonde guy sees the creature and freezes. He can't believe that face. Old man Fergus collapses dramatically, relieved to see the young man safe. Fergus tells the blonde guy he rushed over after hearing about orcs. The cheerful girl tells Fergus to help, saying the blonde is acting weird. Blonde guy is super annoyed but decides to investigate the castle's secrets. He asks Fergus to show him the castle's abandoned training field. Our hero gives the ultimate answer for wanting the training field, to train. Fergus is totally shocked and confused by this unexpected motivation. Fergus points the way towards the mysterious old building. The blonde guy is genuinely surprised by what he spots ahead. He's blown away. The abandoned training ground looks insanely well maintained. The blonde guy finds an epic place to train, totally unlike his mercenary days. The old man says they kept everything ready just in case he wanted to train. The old man thinks the blonde guy is just going through a weird phase. The blonde guy questions if the old man helped him in his past life too. Now he realizes something big must have happened before. Plot twist incoming. He tells the old man, I need to live long, dying really sucks. The blonde guy jokes about actually dying and being resurrected, leaving the old man confused. Blonde guy tells the old man to leave. It's training time now. He admits he always treated everyone like enemies. Awkward realization moment. But now he realizes he was just being totally short-sighted and dramatic. This guy just found out he only has 1 week left, no pressure. Turns out, Elena's death was caused by a lord from next door. And guess what? That kicked off a massive war and boom, downfall. Elena's death wasn't just sad, it started everything going downhill. Wait a second. If Elena's death is the cause, our hero says, it's time, I'm setting everything straight now. First mission, he needs to bulk up fast. Time is running out. He thinks, if I can control mana, I might stand a chance. Mana is basically cheat codes for breaking limits, time to tap in. While most struggle to sense mana, he did it on the battlefield. I have to connect the mana particles floating around me in the air. Now I'm bundling them up with my hands like spinning a spool. After countless battles, creating a mana core is literally a piece of cake. But just doing that wouldn't make me one of the strongest. Using the half-burnt magic book I found, I learned a secret method. Combining that with a human's natural mana core, things get insane. I can make a second, and even a third core at the same time. By linking multiple cores, I'm about to create explosive power nobody's seen. The power is so intense, the main character starts bleeding from the pressure. 3 cores is my limit now, but in my past life I reached 5. Using an explosive technique drains a ridiculous amount of mana in seconds. Last time I ran out of mana, Iden ganged up with an army. The technique's risky, but hey, now I've got youth and time. This time, Iden, I'm coming for you, no holding back. Even the guys who ruined my county with House Delphine, you're on my list. I'm not even pretending, everyone who betrayed me, you're toast. Fast forward, 1 week later, it's the big festival and I'm ready. Strapping on my sword, planning to crash this festival with full energy. Prepping my gear, making sure everything's secure, no more surprises. I'm walking into the festival, determined, sword ready, totally in hero mode. The blonde girl looks shocked, like she just saw a plot twist. At the festival, the blonde girl surprises everyone by actually showing up. The blonde girl calls out the boy for acting weird and training non-stop. The boy argues, saying night family training is totally normal for him. She roasts him, reminding him he always complained about their dad and wanted power. The girl laughs, saying she genuinely likes things how they are right now. She smiles, convinced the old, fun version of the boy is finally back. The boy stares off, clearly thinking about something serious and personal. He reveals he realized a big lesson during the past week. The boy reflects how his changing actions are starting to shift their future. He shows that while some things stay the same, small actions change everything, like chess moves. He understands that using future knowledge well is vital. Every move counts. Preparations are finally complete, and it's about to get interesting. Our hero and Elena pick up bread from the market vendor. Elena drags the hero through town at lightning speed, mouth full of bread. Shot of the castle as the festival fun winds down for the night. Elena flops down, bored, wishing this festival wasn't so much like last year. The hero wonders if spending time with Elena is why nothing crazy happened. Hero asks Elena if she wants to explore different festival areas for excitement. A mysterious knight tells Elena there are new events elsewhere. She looks intrigued. Elena, smiling bright, runs off with the knight, expecting a good time. Our hero realizes the plot twist: it was Elena and the knight all along. Elena points and shouts, "The traitors of our house." While looking furious, Jamal and Philip lift up Elena, showing they were her trusted knightly protectors. It's revealed they were known to have died protecting Elena in a past life. A blonde character glares and says, "So it was you too," suspecting betrayal. Elena repeats, "The traitors of our house," accusing Jamal and Philip again. Jamal excitedly announces, "We're here." As the group arrives at an empty street, the whole group stands in the middle of a deserted plaza, waiting for something. Elena looks annoyed, realizing, "What is this? There's nothing here," doubting any event. Jamal tries to reassure, "I think people will be here soon," as everyone looks skeptical. The blonde character smirks and thinks, as expected, clearly not surprised by the emptiness. At first, this looks like a totally normal deserted town street. But all these obstacles? Someone definitely planned a trap in advance. The boy shouts, "Let's go, big bro," and they make a break for it. The armored knight wants to watch a show, but the girl's having none of it. The girl asks the boy why he's so strong, like, does he even lift? Suddenly, the knight approaches the girl and she gets startled. Major plot twist vibes. The armored dude's face goes creepy and says, "Let's wait a little more." The girl looks worried and confused, calling out, "PHPHL lip." She's officially freaked out. Everyone's acting super weird. This is getting crazy. The knight tries to play it cool. "Oh my, I didn't mean to scare you." The creepy knight grins wide, claiming it's just a reasonable request. The blonde girl freaks out, nervously stuttering, "A request?" The knights drag the girl forward, while someone important approaches. A mysterious man and his hooded squad strut into the square like they own it. Frank, the guy in the hat, compliments the knights for their clean work. Frank says, "Let's end the deal here. We brought the girl as promised." Frank suddenly notices, "Wait, that's the eldest son of the Per4yed family." The serious blonde guy stands protectively beside the trembling girl. The evil knight smirks, offering to hand over the Per4yed boy for free. Blonde guy calls out Jamal for betrayal, asking if he thinks he'll get away. The blue knight tells his enemy to worry about themselves and jokes about running away. The land looks peaceful, but the knight says they're sick of barbarians. He laughs, saying lots of people want to leave Paradom anyway. Suddenly, a blonde swordsman dashes in, sword drawn, surprising everyone. The blue knight is stunned, bleeding and confused, muttering, "Huh?" Two onlookers are completely shocked, jaws practically on the floor. A mysterious man in sunglasses is also shocked, dramatic reaction. The blonde swordsman stands victorious, pointing out they were never betrayed. Close up on his glowing blue eyes, he asks, "Don't you think?" Another knight screams, "Jamal, that idiot. How'd he lose to that amateur?" A stunned knight gets insta-defeated by a sword straight through the head. The knight can't believe what's happening and stammers, "I impossible." The blonde guy stands protecting his sister, surrounded by shocked, defeated knights. Mysterious cloaked figures spy from a distance, doubting the blonde guy's combat skills. The leader confirms, judging by his appearance, "I am not mistaken." Turns out, our blonde guy KO'd 2 knights using mana like a pro. The sister clings to him and nervously asks, "Big bro, what's happening right now?" The blonde guy just stays silent, looking totally mysterious and cool. The little sister calls out, "Big bridge," as she's suddenly surprised. He gently tells her, "Take a little rest," laying her down calmly like a boss. The eldest son of Per4yed gets thanked for finishing a tough mission. A battle scene reveals he's way more powerful than anyone expected. The man in shades asks if he's been hiding his real strength. The eldest son wipes his bloody sword, unfazed, and throws back a question. He sizes up his opponents, thinking, 3, huh. The man with shades powers up, flanked by 2 goons, radiating insane energy. The eldest son gets serious. He knows he needs to end this fight fast. With both teams squaring up, our hero asks, "Whose request was this?" The villain replies, "No need for a dead man to know." Smirking, the eldest son says, "You'll want to spill everything soon anyway." The villain in the hat orders his minion to capture the hero alive. He wants the hero to suffer for some sort of twisted masterpiece. The henchmen charge at the white-haired hero, ready to follow orders. The hero readies a small device, eyes full of determination. He throws the device between the 2 charging henchmen. One henchman realizes it's a firecracker, and he panics. The device explodes, catching one henchman right in the face. Electricity crackles as the attack hits with shocking force. The hero quickly counterattacks, calling their move a shallow trick. The white-haired hero blocks a sword strike, fighting back with skill. The blonde swordsman's eyes go wide. Something insane is about to happen. He charges with his huge sword, swinging straight at the masked attacker. The masked enemy dodges back, barely blocking a powerful attack. Our hero counters fast, slashing back with perfect form on the cobblestones. The swordsman looks shocked as the real threat appears behind him. The man with sunglasses tries to ambush our hero with a sneaky attack. But the swordsman senses danger and blocks the sneak strike, just in time. Sunglasses guy is stunned. How did our hero block his perfect sneak attack? Both duelists dash and clash all over the street, moving at breakneck speed. The swordsman and sunglasses guy square off in an epic, lightning-fast sword fight. The man in the hat takes a devastating slash across his neck. His signature red pipe flies dramatically through the air, hitting the ground. The white-haired swordsman unleashes a powerful, focused sword strike. Both fighters collide swords in an intense flurry right in the courtyard. The man in the hat grins, amazed he survived thanks to his mana shield. The young swordsman is shaken, realizing his enemy used mana to block. Hatman admits he's never seen such wild sword moves from someone young. With a sinister smile, he declares, "You shall die here." He reveals, if not for his superior mana, he'd be headless right now. The Hatman repeats, baffled by the strange sword skills of his opponent. The guy in the hat taunts, saying weak mana can't beat him. The villain looks crazy and screams, "You will die here." The hero just grins, completely unfazed by the threat. Shocked, the villain wonders why the hero is smiling during the fight. Our hero charges and tackles the shocked villain to the ground. The hero slams the villain so hard, it sends him flying. Both recover quickly, ready for the next showdown with swords drawn. The villain grins smugly, claiming weak mana just won't cut it. Suddenly, the villain's expression changes as blood drips from his mouth. The villain doubles over, coughing blood. Guess weak mana wasn't so weak. The bearded man panics. His enemy's attacks just got insanely stronger. The hat guy realizes there's a real villain behind Alina's death. The white-haired swordsman steps forward, power crackling, and accuses, "So it was you." Swordsman glares, glowing with insane energy. He's ready to wreck shop, third core unleashed. Hat guy freaks out, yelling, "How did you boost your mana so much?" The white-haired swordsman launches into an aerial assault, both blades targeting the villain. The Hatman is shocked mid-fight, only thinking, he's fast. Intense sword duel. Both clash wildly, neither willing to back down. With focus in his eyes, the swordsman prepares his next relentless strike. A massive, explosive blow. White-haired swordsman unleashes his true strength on the villain. The man in the hat can't believe how strong his opponent is. Even pouring mana into his sword isn't enough to block these hits. He's shocked. He's never seen anyone boost their mana this insanely. The blonde guy looks totally transformed, charging up like a final boss. The blonde guy smashes through the Hatman's defenses like they're glass. With a powerful swing, the blonde guy sends shards flying everywhere. The man in the hat is left reeling, clearly on the losing side. Blonde guy goes all in, face fierce, aiming to finish this fight. The two clash head to head, blonde guy landing a brutal blow. The man in the hat gasps in pain, realizing he's totally outmatched. The guy with the eye patch gets punched so hard, you can feel it. As chaos reigns, the swordsman says, "Let's finish our conversation from before." The swordsman grabs the eye patch guy and demands, "Who's the one who requested this?" Eye patch guy pulls out a knife, thinking, "I'm not going down so easily." He plots to at least take the young lady of Betr4yed with him. He yells, "Die," and swings his blade with one last desperate move. But something crazy happens. Bright red threads wrap around his hand. The swordsman calmly says, "How about we make a deal?" Close up, the swordsman says, "Answer me and I'll sheath my sword." Eye patch guy freaks out. Are these threads made with mana? I can't move. The blonde hero steps forward, his hand glowing with intense energy. He taunts, "I'm sure you know how to patch yourself up." The hero threatens to destroy his opponent's mana core, raising the stakes. The older man with glasses freaks out, yelling, "What?" Blonde hero delivers a blow, and energy crackles between them. The older man screams in terror as his chest starts splitting open. He watches in shock as his mana begins to scatter and fade. A wild-haired opponent shouts, "One wrong move and we all explode." The calm voice says, "That's for the unskilled. No pressure, right?" Blonde hero smirks, glowing eyes, saying, "I can manage it." Confidence overload. The eye patch guy is freaking out and realizes his enemy isn't bluffing. The blonde guy's eye glows, and he knows his life is at risk. The eye patch man screams that it was Count Desmond behind it all. He reveals Count Desmond ordered everything to start a huge family war. Blonde guy gets confirmation that Desmond is the mastermind behind the chaos. Hooded villains gather in secret, plotting under Duke Delphine's orders behind the scenes. Blonde guy confronts the eye patch man about his intent to kill Elena. He admits it. The blonde guy doesn't hold back. He punches the eye patch man hard. Eye patch man panics, saying this isn't what he agreed to at all. Blonde guy just smirks, calling out his hypocrisy for fearing death after causing so many. The blonde guy gives a menacing laugh, plotting something big and mysterious. The villain taunts the blonde, saying nothing can change, even with his death. Blue-haired villain screams that Betr4yed will fall because of the war. The blonde hero grabs the villain's face and says, "Let me tell you something." Bold text reveals, "I was reborn after dying," setting up something epic. The bloody blonde hero smirks, promising everything will be different this time. The villain screams in agony as power surges from the hero's hand. A single streak of light shoots into the night sky above the city. Fireworks explode dramatically. The hero stands victorious in a blood-stained street. Two figures lie defeated and gasping on the ground. The blonde hero dominates. The battle leaves someone down. The street is suddenly way too quiet. Our blonde hero is covered in blood and catching his shaky breath. Another person has fallen, while the hero stands, sword dripping behind. The hero drops his bloody sword. He's done holding it. Blonde hero looks up, exhausted, just whispering, "Who?" trying to stay conscious. Suddenly, something hits him. He gasps, not ready for more trouble. The hero collapses to the ground, unable to stand, shouting in pain. Through bloody lips, he says, "Exploding 3 cores was easy as Mercenary King." He thinks, "I won't fall like this," refusing to give up. Quick footsteps echo. The story isn't over, someone's about to enter. This guy smashes through the door, landing in a mess of debris and bodies. He's out of breath and realizes another body was found here before. Meanwhile, an older man stares at a mysterious, intimidating family crest. Someone wrapped in a sheet yells angrily, "Son of Degard." Our hero figures out the bodies were framed as Alina's killers. He knows if this secret gets out, the war will explode. He grabs his weapon, determined, "Let's erase this evidence." Covered in blood, he limps out as flames rage behind him. He won't give up. A hooded figure watches from above as chaos engulfs the village below. Suddenly, the hooded stranger disappears from the tree, ready to make a move. They said it straight up, this whole mission was a failure. The boss is furious. "We sent our best knights for this?" A cloaked figure kneels on the ground, defeated and shaking. He shouts, sweating, "It was all because of Ghislain Perdian." The council just laughs, calling Ghislain the most useless guy from the north. One leader throws shade, saying, "Ghislain is trash, you're really blaming him?" The cloaked man insists, he was nothing like the rumors, that dude's built different. Cut to Ghislain, bow drawn, eyes focused, looking like an unstoppable legend. Quick montage: Ghislain demolishes multiple armored attackers in a lightning-fast beatdown. We see Ghislain's eye, glowing with a skull symbol as he destroys the enemy. This dude's rage level is literally off the charts, totally unhinged. Ghislain walks away from burning chaos like an absolute legend, not looking back. It was as if he was a completely different person. Plot twist vibes. The hooded figure begs for another chance as a shady council judges him. The council starts roasting the cloaked guy for failing one simple mission. They go full savage mode and shout, "Eliminate him. No second chances here." Someone in the shadows calls out, "How noisy." This is about to get spicy. The hooded figure faces a dark room, suspense building with every second. An ominous voice asks, "What kind of chance do you want?" This just got real. The hooded villain shouts, "I will get rid of Ghislain Perdian. Bring on the showdown." Someone asks how, and a mysterious reply vows a duel will happen. The hooded character is sweating and reveals, "There's someone I have in mind." A shadowy figure inquires, who, clearly intrigued or maybe nervous. Meet K1lled is young, ripped, and ridiculously famous for strength-based swordsmanship. K1lled breaks swords with ease. No one in the north matches his power. Hooded character shouts, "K1lled is Ghislain's cousin, so a meeting is easy." The fancy-dressed folks at the table look pretty shocked by that bombshell. A dark, intimidating figure warns, "If you fail again, the threat gets real. There will be no next time. Those eyes mean business." The hooded character promises with energy, "I won't disappoint you. No pressure, right?" We're at the Perdian Castle training hall, where legends are literally forged. Fergus, the armored butler, tries to remind the young master about mealtime. Suddenly, a burst of blue magic energy explodes out of nowhere. Fergus is totally caught off guard by the mysterious energy attack. A sword flashes toward Fergus, magic crackling like it's a Harry Potter fight. The young master skillfully catches the flying sword with one hand. Calm as ever, the young master just says, "All right, that should do." He notices something strange and furrows his brows, totally unbothered. The young master realizes it's just old man Fergus interrupting his training. Fergus, in total shock, asks how the young master pulled off that trick. The blonde guy casually reveals a glowing sword and says, this?" He shows off his mana thread, using magical energy like string. Flashback. He remembers using this skill in a past life, total pro vibes. He figures, if he uses one thread, he spends less mana and still rocks. The armored dude is shocked, saying he's never seen mana like this before. The knight thinks, wait, this kid didn't even use mana until recently. The armored guy asks, "Did you need something?" The scene shifts to the big hall. The blonde kid just wanted to say something, totally catches everyone off guard. With respect, the knight thanks him for protecting the young lady. The blonde hero shrugs off the thanks, saying he just did what was right. In a giant castle, someone shouts, "Let's go eat." Classic priorities. A few days zoom by, and everything changes super fast. The festival shuts down, after a guard knight messed things up. The blonde girl complains nobody believes she was actually rescued by the hero. Around the table, Friends argue she should speak up, but lose hope fast. Her maid flips out, accusing Jamal and Philip of being total weirdos. Elena is chilling at the table. She made it, folks. I stopped a war, the hero thinks, but trouble is definitely still coming. He's seriously worried. He can't defend alone forever, needs an army ASAP. Suddenly, a knight bursts in and says, "Excuse me." More drama incoming. This guy's plotting his political strategy, but breakfast interrupts his thoughts. His meal is literally just one sad piece of bread. He stares in shock. This is not the feast he hoped for. He asks Belinda why dessert is first. She looks nervous. He dramatically facepalms at the reality of their food situation. An angry man yells, demanding compensation for the cancelled festival. An entire mob gathers, shouting for compensation outside the castle. The crowd thinks Belinda's swimming in cash. She begs them to chill. The blonde guy leans out the window, asking what's going on. Belinda admits she knew the angry mob would show up like this. The maid explains how merchants rely on the yearly festival's profits. The festival was cancelled, and now an angry mob wants answers. The young lord worries if the county is actually in real trouble. He realizes things will get worse if he doesn't act quickly. He orders old man Fergus to send soldiers to calm down the crowd. Fergus reveals with a grin, they don't have any soldiers left. All their soldiers are busy rebuilding after an orc attack in the monster forest. A map reveals Per Diem is stuck between endless war and monster attacks. The young lord despairs. No money, no soldiers, everything's falling apart. He pulls Belinda aside, ready for a serious, game-changing talk. The blonde guy asks his maid for money to calm angry merchants. The maid drops the bomb. They have zero money left. The guy freaks out, learning his allowance was cut off. He realizes with horror, he's completely broke now. Desperate, he pleads with the maid to lend him cash, but she's broke too. Staring out the window, he wonders what they even have left. He thinks, no money, no help, not even future knowledge saves me. Determined, he rushes through the halls searching for any solution. Suddenly, a guard bursts in, urgently calling out for the young master. The surprised young master asks Ricardo the guard why he's in such a panic. This guy runs in yelling, "There's a problem. Kane wants to see you." The white-haired guy looks shocked and says, "Kane?" An armored man is already messed up, breathing hard with blood on his face. Suddenly, the armored man's face gets obliterated by a powerful punch. The attacker's bloody fist is shown mid-swing, a total knockout punch. The punch smashes right into the armored man's chest, sending shockwaves. The armored man coughs up blood, gasping, barely able to say anything. The white-haired guy stands tall as the battered armored man crashes down. The defeated man, barely conscious, whispers, "Young master." Kane stands over his opponent, looking totally unfazed and ice-cold. The intense guy with purple eyes finally spots who he's looking for. Blonde dude faces off against a massive masked brute in a fiery scene. The huge villain grins and greets Ghislain like they're old frenemies. Finally, the main character shows up, and things are about to get wild. The blonde main character is ready for anything, looking super serious. Shirtless guy with a cape enters and instantly recognizes our hero's face. Heir of the Loges County enters. Apparently, these families are tight allies. The big reveal. K1lled steps out, looking like a boss. Plot twist. K1lled was our hero's only friend back then. But wait, he was also his greatest enemy. Rivals make it spicy. K1lled confronts the main character, because old friends always complicate things. The main character asks Ricardo for a status update. Clearly, chaos just broke out. Ricardo nervously explains, "We responded to a disturbance at the tavern. Things escalated fast. We found Kane meeting with his knight, asking about Ghislain's rumors." Commander Scovin starts explaining all the crazy stories to Kane. Suddenly, Kane grabs Commander Scovin, demanding the truth. Kane says, "You dare lie before the heir of Loges?" Another knight nervously recounts, and that was how it happened. The big guy tells him to tell the actual, epic truth. Turns out, they claimed this guy beat orcs and traitorous knights barehanded. The battered knight admits he needed a wake-up call. Ouch, that's some serious tough love. Big guy warns, if you hadn't lied, you wouldn't look like that now. Kane just gives the camera a cold, confident look, absolute legend energy. Despite the confrontation, Kane's authority is unchallenged. Every knight around him feels both fear and respect. Whispers circle the room as Kane's legendary reputation only grows stronger with each ruthless decision he makes. Knights exchange worried glances, realizing Kane's standards are impossibly high, but failure is not an option for anyone. And yep, he's honestly just that kind of wild guy, an unstoppable force that everyone knows better than to cross. This guy always treated me like his sidekick, never as an equal. Every time he visited, he trashed the place, and no one dared speak up. Nobody ever looked down on Kane, not even by mistake. Even with his inferiority complex, Kane's confidence got him praised as an heir. Meanwhile, I just kept catching all the criticism, lucky me. Kane towers over me, acting like he owns the place as usual. Now Kane's surprised, thinking, why isn't this guy snapping at me yet? Flashback time. We're in Loges County, and it's looking dramatic. Kane hears a shocking order. Wait, you want me to kill Ghislain? A cloaked figure offers Kane a deal: complete this task, gain powerful support. This scheming noble plots to eliminate Ghislain, but fears his status. The masked advisor proposes a duel, making it look like a fair fight. The masked figure promises this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance for victory. The noble can't believe he's forced to plan against his own cousin Ghislain. The noble gets pumped, ready to go full Mr. Beast mode on his enemy. He wonders if Ghislain changed, and that's why they want him gone. A sly grin appears, a new plan forming instantly in his mind. Suddenly, a blonde guy walks in and suspiciously asks what's going on. The pumped noble demands the thing prepared for him, causing confusion. He tries to hype everyone up, acting like it's the ultimate festival challenge. This intense guy stares down and asks, "Am I wrong, buddy?" The blonde swordsman stands confidently, hands in pockets, totally unbothered. The blonde swordsman pauses and says, "Ah, are you talking about that?" He remembers, this guy always made me prepare alcohol and women here. He's annoyed, thinking, I did it so I wouldn't get beaten up. Not anymore. A maid reminds him, the Lord cut support because you wasted so much money. The blonde swordsman looks serious, he's realizing how much this cost him. With glowing eyes, he thinks, it was here all this time. He sees his money source reflected, and his eyes literally light up. He shouts out, "Hey, Ghislain," ready for his next wild plan. The white-haired guy demands immediate action, pressuring the big man to deliver now. The big guy nervously agrees, realizing things are about to escalate fast. White-haired guy grills him, reminding him about an old debt, awkward flashbacks incoming. The hooded character is just watching this drama unfold, probably glad it's not him. The big guy pretends not to remember the debt, but he's sweating bullets. White-haired guy itemizes everything, demanding 1,000 gold. The big guy thinks it's a scam. Big guy claims it's a friendship fee, like charging rent for being buddies. He snaps, saying he's not a friend but a doormat, and he's done. White-haired guy threatens payback, gives an evil smile, and reveals he needs cash, now. The chaos catches everyone's attention, and another guy is shocked by the white-haired guy's demand. The blonde guy steps in, ready for an intense showdown. The blonde guy gets called out for acting bold by a rival. The shirtless rival insults him, calling him a parasite and a liar. The rival clenches his fist, mocking the blonde's reputation and worth. "Get yourself together," the rival shouts, fist flying at the blonde guy. The blonde lowers his head, bracing himself after getting insulted. The rival punches at him, but the blonde stands his ground, not moving. Two bystanders react in total shock, jaws physically dropping at the scene. The rival swings, shouting, "You little," but the blonde dodges and counters. In a stunning twist, the blonde lands a powerful strike straight to the rival's gut. This guy's eyes go wide, surprised like he just lost Wi-Fi. Boom. He gets punched so hard it looks like a cartoon explosion. But wait, he starts grinning, like he loves the challenge. The blonde guy is calm, still ready to throw another punch. The big guy crashes to the floor, while someone in a blue cloak watches. Blue cloak rushes to help, asking, "Young master, are you alright?" Blonde guy says, "Get up. Stop whining. I know you blocked that shot." Blue cloak freaks out, yelling, "Stand back, Ghislain. What do you think you're doing?" The bystanders are shocked, wondering if Ghislain really just took down K1lled. Blonde guy just smirks and says, "Aha," like it was nothing. The blonde guy smirks and says, "So that's how you want to play, huh?" The villain in red taunts, "How do you like my acting?" Hooded figure praises the scheme, plotting to justify a duel with Ghislain. Villain thinks, it's a rare chance to gain powerful backing. Must impress. The cloak duo plans. Now's the time to take down Betr4yed's crumbling power. The villain clenches a blue cloth, getting hyped for the confrontation. He dramatically calls out Ghislain, accusing him and challenging him to a duel. Suddenly, a gloved hand smacks right into the villain's face. Ghislain, looking calm, steps up and challenges K1lled directly to a duel. K1lled looks shocked, left speechless by Ghislain's bold surprise move. The heir calls out his enemy for public insults and attacking his knight. Someone kneels by an injured knight, clearly shocked by the situation. The heir gets intense, asking if anyone dares deny what happened. A muscular villain enters dramatically, flanked by his mysterious hooded sidekick. The villain mocks the heir, laughing at his challenging words. Dramatic sword grab. Heir accepts the villain's duel without fear. Villain warns the heir not to regret it, even if it's his last day. The heir locks eyes, determined, sword drawn. He's ready for action. "Ricardo," the heir commands, catching his nervous companion off guard. Ricardo freaks out as he's ordered to fetch protesting merchants immediately. Blonde K1lled smirks, promising on his phone to make everyone big money. The festival is cancelled, the castle feels empty, and tourists are bummed. People wander, unable to spend their money or time, feeling restless. If only someone hosted an epic event to entertain these bored travelers. K1lled steps onto a stage, ready to turn things around for everyone. It's K1lled versus Ghislain. The crowd roars and bets start flying. Street vendors lure in customers with buy one get one deals and shouts. A big guy shouts, "Place your bets here," while the line grows. Coins fly. Everyone's putting their money on K1lled, the safest bet. Ghislain slams his sword down. The ultimate showdown is just beginning. The massive swordsman calls out the duel for becoming too commercialized. He warns, if you surrender, his sword will keep swinging anyway. The blonde guy just gives a chill right, like it's no big deal. The swordsman and his cloaked buddy guess the prize the blonde wants. Blonde guy says, now then, since everyone's here, let's get started. Mysterious cloaked figure watches the blonde with the crowd in suspense. The cloaked warrior complains that the bets aren't lining up right now. Two nervous spectators realize this fight is about to get wild. The announcer says, nobody bet on Lord Ghislain, so rip his odds. Blonde guy looks determined, ready to shock everyone with his next move. The whole crowd thinks young Master K1lled will crush the white-haired challenger. K1lled taunts the white-haired guy, saying nobody even wants to bet on him. Someone proposes a new bet. How long can this weakling survive against K1lled? Blue-armored dude slams down a hefty bag of money to join the bet. Blue-armored man surprises everyone, betting on young Lord Ghislain instead of K1lled. Young Master Ghislain grins, ready to prove everyone wrong. The table shakes as another massive bag of money slams down. This bet just got real. A confident girl and a maid put even more money down for her big brother. The crowd is losing their minds. Why are so many betting against K1lled? Young Master Ghislain looks shocked by all the sudden support. The townsfolk are shocked. Someone yells out, Lady Elena. Lady Elena hands over something, ignoring warnings, and everyone looks tense. A mysterious hooded person turns, eyeing the scene with suspicion. The commander is annoyed, muttering about wasting his time out here. Suddenly, someone declares, then, get ready. The atmosphere gets intense. Big showdown vibes. One guy lets the other make the first move on stage. The challenger pulls out a sword, ready to impress the whole crowd. Sword raised, the tension rises. Everyone's waiting for the big moment. The young swordsman stands confidently, weapon in hand, not backing down. He looks his opponent in the eye and says, come at me. The intense stare down starts as our mysterious hero gets serious. The villain taunts, don't you think it's too late to act tough? The villain slams down, making an entrance that would impress any superhero. With a wild leap, the villain prepares a dramatic overhead sword strike. He swings down ferociously, eyes glowing like he's already won. Our hero barely blocks, sweat dripping. This is way too close for comfort. The villain yells, you've already stooped too low to save face now. The villain's sword slices the air, forcing the hero to dodge quickly. The fight escalates, swords clashing, both opponents refusing to give an inch. The villain comes in for another powerful blow, but our hero's not backing down. K1lled lands with explosive power, shattering the ground and showing who's boss. The crowd can't believe it, saying K1lled's opponent won't survive one hit. K1lled smirks like he already won, confidence level arrogant anime rival. The blonde guy just stares, totally unimpressed, thinking, look at this guy, huh? The audience panics, urging the young lady to stop the fight immediately. A hooded figure grins, revealing it's too late. K1lled's trap has already sprung. The narrator explains K1lled's sheer power forces opponents to waste energy dodging. Exhausted from dodging, any opponent eventually slips up, leaving a big opening. And when that opening comes, their journey ends right there, KO City. That's how K1lled has always dominated, overwhelming force, one-sided victories, every single time. The villain taunts, calling the hero slippery and admitting his skills improved. The villain swings a weapon with serious force, saying it makes sense. Insult time. The villain mocks the hero for always running in the past. They clash fiercely, both determined to win at any cost. The hero barely manages to block the villain's attack in front of everyone. The hero is launched high into the air, totally losing control. Shocked, the brown-haired knight shouts, young master, desperately for his friend. The audience gasps with wide eyes, clearly not expecting this epic upset. A masked enemy grins menacingly and declares, it's over, Ghislain. The hero flips mid-air, hanging onto his weapon while someone yells, die. The white-haired fighter stares down at his opponent in complete silence. The villain says, I wanted to go easy on you, but he's glowing. But you crossed the line. This fight's about to get way too intense. White-haired guy lunges from above, slicing through the air with glowing eyes. His opponent's eyes widen in shock, totally not ready for that move. Muscular fighter strikes down, but white-haired guy easily dodges and counters below. Fierce determination on the muscular fighter's face. This fight just became personal. A hooded onlooker realizes he's stabilized with mana in his legs. Mind blown, white-haired fighter lowers his head, focused and powered up for round 2. Muscular opponent taunts, such ignorant swordsmanship. You thought you were the strongest, huh? The blonde swordsman says, allow me to open your eyes, looking serious. The big opponent looks shocked, as if he's not ready at all. The big guy taunts, oh yeah? And how are you gonna do that? Both fighters' feet hit the ground, ready to make the first move. The blonde swordsman leaps high, aiming a strike right at his opponent. The massive guy barely blocks, struggling to keep up with the swordsman's speed. The swordsman goes full anime mode, striking from above, side, and below. The big guy yells, completely overwhelmed by the blonde's insane moves. With a powerful slash, the swordsman knocks his opponent sliding across the floor. To finish it off, the swordsman crashes down, making a huge impact right next to him. Ghislain moves with unreal speed, his eyes locked with pure determination. Ghislain takes on Kane, and the whole arena is holding their breath. The cool stare of Ghislain says, "Yeah, I did that." Kane is stunned and wounded, clearly underestimating his opponent this time. The crowd reacts, mouths drop, everyone's shocked by Ghislain's unexpected move. Even the doubters in the stands start cheering for Ghislain now. Was that magic? Fans lose it as Ghislain is now the underdog favorite. Ghislain's supporters look smug, like they totally knew this outcome. An old man's eyes widen. He's realizing Ghislain's true skill for the first time. Kane's mentor is sweating like he just realized his job's on the line now. The wounded man realizes his opponent spared him with a shallow cut. Shocked, he wonders how the blonde guy is so skilled. The blonde swordsman stands coolly, staring down his stunned rival. He looks totally calm, not even a scratch on him. The blonde casually discards his sword in front of everyone. Such a gap in skill won't provide enough entertainment, he declares. He turns, announcing he's fighting barehanded from now on. The wounded man freaks out, yelling, "What?" The blonde says, "Let me teach you something important today." Smirking, the blonde hero promises a lesson, with just his bare knuckles. Kane looks ready to fight and dares his opponent to educate him. The white-haired guy removes his shirt, offering to fight barehanded. White-haired guy raises the stakes, betting 2,000 gold he'll win. The crowd freaks out, questioning the crazy bet and barehanded duel. Mysterious cloaked figure sweats nervously, clearly anxious about what's coming. He thinks Kane will win easily, calling his opponent totally insane. The audience debates bets, everyone thinking challenging Kane barehanded is crazy. Announcer shouts for final bets. It's officially Ghislain versus Kane, no weapons. Some people are ready to bet on Ghislain, believing in the underdog. Kane laughs at the thought of a bare-handed fight, ready to crush Ghislain. The giant challenger mocks, daring the young lord to fight unarmed. The massive man prepares for battle, reaching out with confidence. He roars, "I will use the sword," flexing his muscles to intimidate. The white-haired girl shouts, "Young lord, pick up your sword too." The hulking fighter swings his sword, aiming to finish it fast. The young lord looks serious, promising to knock some sense into him. The giant's sword slams down, but the young lord narrowly dodges. The muscle man swings again, chasing the quick-moving young lord. The young lord dashes, showing off his agility and fast footwork. The crowd goes wild as brute force clashes with slick speed. White-haired Ghislain lands a brutal punch on the huge fighter's chest. Ghislain's determined eyes show he's not backing down, aiming another blow. Ghislain launches a fierce uppercut straight into his opponent's face. He's unstoppable. The giant's head snaps back as the punch lands. Ghislain's strength is unreal. The huge fighter drops to one knee, clearly hurt and struggling to get up. The big guy looks up, shocked, thinking, "What the?" Staring down, Ghislain's opponent wonders, "How can this punk move like that?" The crowd goes wild as onlookers shout, "That was spicy. Ghislain might actually win." Ghislain taunts his opponent, "Get up. I haven't even gotten started." The big guy is furious, gritting his teeth and roaring out in rage. The huge guy charges with a giant sword, trying to obliterate the blonde fighter. Muscles everywhere. But the blonde dude dodges and fights back fast. Giant guy yells he never even dared make eye contact before. Blonde fighter flips the script, saying the big dude always forced people to bow down. Massive clash. The blonde guy is holding his own against this bodybuilder. Muscle man shouts he must win to save the Loges family's future. The blonde fighter absolutely overwhelms him with rapid, brutal counters. The huge fighter collapses, bleeding and gasping, and just asks, "Why?" It's not over. The blonde guy grabs him by the head in front of everyone. Blonde fighter shows no mercy and coldly says, "I pity your father." This white-haired guy explains K1lled saved Paradigm because of friendship. But K1lled's son? He's got his own ideas about loyalty. The battered fighter on the ground looks furious and defeated. Flashback time. Years ago, someone questions helping Paradigm again. People complain supporting Paradigm is like pouring water into a cracked bucket. Another voice points out it's barely been a week, and help's already headed back. The determined son glares, clearly not convinced by his father's choices. The son stops his dad, begging him not to go. He demands, "Why do you keep helping Paradigm if everyone's against it?" The father in his armor pauses, torn between loyalty and his son's wishes. The battered fighter says, "It's just because we are friends." Dramatic text flashes, "There's no other reason." The white-haired guy throws a massive punch at his friend. The injured guy takes the hit and slams into the ground. "This ought to have educated you enough, huh?" Echoes in the air. The injured fighter's eye flickers open, refusing to give up easily. The white-haired guy extends a hand and commands, "Get up." The defeated fighter looks up at the outstretched hand, crowd watching. He lowers himself, accepting the help, exhausted but still determined. The white-haired guy wins, as the battered friend admits, "I admit my defeat." The crowd is in total shock. Nobody can believe what just happened. Everyone starts freaking out. Some people are legit losing their minds here. The mysterious hooded figure is sweating. Definitely didn't see that coming. Young Lord Ghislain has won. The whole arena explodes with that announcement. People are yelling. Some won bets, others lost their life savings on this fight. A little girl cheers, "Big bro won." Friends and family all celebrate together. The defeated fighter falls to his knees while the hooded villain storms forward. Hooded figure loses it, yelling at the defeated guy for giving up so quickly. The muscular guy sighs and just says, "Let go. I'm done. Totally over it." The hooded villain is losing his mind, calling Ghislain a weak little brat. The mysterious guy says now, catching the hooded challenger off guard. Smiling, the confident blonde declares, "I gotta do what I gotta do, right?" The hooded challenger nervously asks, what? Clearly not ready for what's coming. Blonde guy tells the crowd this man will pay for everyone's meat and drinks. The hooded challenger freaks out, screaming what? Realizing he's just been set up. The crowd goes wild for free food, already claiming the challenger as their hero. Hooded challenger angrily shouts that he never agreed to this insane deal. The blonde hero grabs the hooded guy's shoulder to keep him from escaping. Blonde guy explains it's the loser's price, and it won't affect the original bet. He reminds everyone add 2,000 gold to the bet for a real Mr. Beast level loss. This masked guy says, if you run, you know what'll happen. The other character stares in panic, totally freaked out by that threat. Ghislain agrees quickly, walking away as everyone in the arena watches. Next, we see this massive medieval castle, home to all the action. The next day, in Ghislain's room, things are about to change. Suddenly, a fancy chest bursts open inside the room. What's in there? Ghislain is shocked to find a huge stash of shiny gold coins. He realizes, I could literally hire my own mercenary army with this. Ghislain worries, but making more money takes too much time, they won't wait. Two mysterious girls show up, while Ghislain gets ready for his next big move. The blonde guy hears something surprising and asks, what is it? His sister comes in hot, asking where hell spend all that cash. He offers her some money, but she just wanted to snoop. The maid enters, already judging, and says it's obvious where he'll use it. She exposes his plan, buying a crazy expensive present for Lady Amelia's birthday. The maid says he's totally transparent, while Sis calls him out for simping. Plot twist. Our guy just realized, wait, I have a fiancé? The maids tease the boy, saying they know he's shy about Amelia. The boy stares, looking deep in thought about what just happened. A creepy red spider appears, with the words that woman. The name Amelia Rayfold flashes across a dramatic, dark background. Amelia is described as beloved by her people, but secretly a future rebel. She is accused of being a traitor for siding with the enemy duchy. The boy asks the maids when his father will return, they say a week. He thinks a week is enough time for whatever he has planned next. He says he's going to visit Rayfold County, surprising one of the maids. The boy admits he's visiting Rayfold County just to get money from them. Amelia kneels in front of a crowd, offering shoes to a child. Amelia tells the child with determination, wear them. The crowd silently watches as the girl stares at Amelia, surprised. The little girl cries out, Lady Amelia, overwhelmed with emotions. Amelia declares if anyone must walk barefoot on her land, it's herself. Amelia commands her knights to provide food and shelter right away. Soldiers rush in with supplies while villagers watch in complete awe. As Amelia walks barefoot, grateful voices thank her from the crowd. Back at her garden, Amelia sits while Bernif gently washes her feet. Bernif, Amelia's escort knight, praises her for doing a great job. The lady explains her father demanded absolute obedience from everyone in his territory. She believes common folk just want someone who keeps them warm and fed. The stern man says she's already won the people's hearts for the future competition. The lady sits confidently, looking unimpressed, as the scene intensifies around her. Out of nowhere, the lady slaps the man's face with her foot, shocking everyone. She demands to know what happened in the duel with the North's best swordsman. The kneeling man explains he lost to avoid drawing too much attention to her. He warns her it's not the moment to reveal her true power just yet. The man kisses her foot, swearing loyalty and vowing his blade is hers. The lady smiles, reminding him she's invested a lot to raise him as her own. A mysterious hand forcefully lifts up the chin of a stern man. The woman with red eyes demands, you're not allowed to be weak. Conversation turns to merchants in the state of the Merchant Guild. The man explains that they control supplies for a devastated outpost. He reveals they're secretly recruiting skilled knights and warriors leaving Peridium. The woman orders him to keep acting like an ordinary merchant guild, stay thorough. Suddenly, a nervous butler bows, asking permission to interrupt their meeting. The butler warns, young Lord Ghislain Peridium is at the gate right now. The red-eyed woman glares, asking why that punk has shown up here. Sweating, the butler stammers nervously, struggling to answer her question. The man reveals he was summoned for a talk about the Merchant Guild. Scene switches to a dramatic, fancy visitor's room inside a grand mansion. Amelia sits on a couch clutching her cat, awaiting her visitor's words. The blonde man greets Amelia directly, sitting confidently with a sword. Amelia glares fiercely, her cat hisses, tension rises in the room. Amelia complains about the visit, demanding better manners and formal notice. The blonde man smirks, offering an early birthday gift to Amelia. He puts a fragrant flower on the table, mentioning the Merchant Guild. The man guesses the Archium Merchant Guild supplied the flowers he bought. A close-up on Amelia's sharp eyes, showing her growing suspicions. The blonde guy is confused, telling the girl he doesn't understand her words. After accepting a gift, the girl quickly says goodbye and walks away. A name hangs in the air: Amelia Rayfold. The guy's demeanor changes, commanding with a sharp tone, "Sit down." Amelia's eyes widen, shocked and tense, as the mood turns intense. Even the cup on the table shakes. This pressure is insane. Amelia is stunned, remembering when he could barely talk around her. The blonde guy, acting confident now, demands, "Give me 10,000 gold." Amelia can't believe it and shoots back, "What?" Amelia asks if his request is his father's will, but he denies it. Ghislain confronts someone, questioning if they ever plan to marry him. Ghislain explains the risks and power struggles in Rayfold to his guest. A furious, glowing-eyed cat suddenly starts to snarl at everyone. The giant white cat blocks the view as Ghislain is solemnly addressed. The woman glares back, warning Ghislain not to joke about their situation. Ghislain smirks and hints he'll keep secrets if he gets rewarded. The double doors burst open to dramatic light as someone is summoned. A tall, intimidating swordsman named Bernif strides confidently into the room. Bernif greets Ghislain with a deep, respectful bow after entering. Ghislain thinks to himself, recognizing Bernif as Amelia's loyal protector. A mysterious swordsman steps out, known as the finest in the north. The woman warns that her death could lead to a devastating war. Her plan is to spin the knight's actions as a tragic accident. With chilling confidence, the woman commands her knight to kill openly. The blonde swordsman realizes things are escalating and prepares himself. The loyal knight replies, ready to follow her deadly order instantly. The blonde hero grips his sword and gets serious, no more holding back. The knight charges in, and an epic duel is about to explode. The knight's confident smirk says he completely underestimates his opponent. The blonde swordsman gets ready, tense and focused, as the fight begins. The masked assassin bursts into the room, targeting the blonde hero instantly. The assassin lands a brutal blow, knocking the hero off balance. The blonde hero dodges, using a chair to defend against the fierce attack. Both fighters crash through the room with intense, high-speed acrobatics. The hero counters, sending the masked attacker flying across the room. Two new figures glance over, shocked by the chaotic brawl breaking out. The blonde hero smirks, realizing it was a surprise assassination attempt. Drawing his weapon, the hero taunts, "What poor hospitality," challenging the assassin. An explosive sword clash erupts, energy crackling as they fight for dominance. The blonde hero shouts, "Does Rayfold not know of chivalry?" Mid-battle. There's no need for any hesitation, something big is about to happen. The swordsman says young Lord Ghislain was actually rude by arriving uninvited. He shouts Ghislain doesn't deserve politeness, slashing at him mid-duel. Blades clash and power explodes as the sword fight gets intense fast. Both warriors crash onto the floor, spinning with fierce attacks and skill. Young Lord Ghislain dodges at the last second, narrowly avoiding a strike. They leap apart, facing each other across the room, tension rising higher. The stern swordsman doubts Ghislain's skills, thinking he's just another bragger. Turns out Ghislain stands strong and ready, definitely not a rookie here. Suddenly, a confident lady questions Bernif, wondering why he's struggling with Ghislain. The spider lady demands her knight bring her enemy's head now. The silver-haired knight turns with a cold, determined expression. The knight promises to not disappoint, drawing his glowing sword. With glowing eyes, the knight challenges his enemy to come forth. The blonde swordsman mocks the knight, questioning his authority. The blonde swordsman reluctantly agrees, preparing to fight seriously. Facing each other, both ready, the duel is about to begin. The knight instantly charges, unleashing a powerful blue slash. The blonde swordsman barely blocks as the attack crashes down. Shocked, the blonde swordsman realizes his opponent is incredibly fast. Ghislain looks totally focused, determined to prove everyone wrong today. Ghislain launches into a fast, ruthless sword battle against multiple foes. A woman is shocked, questioning how Ghislain can fight Bernif equally. Bernif's furious eyes lock in. He's not letting this insult slide. Ghislain charges, launching a direct attack at Bernif across the room. Bernif blocks Ghislain's sword strike, their blades sparking with energy. Both swordsmen lock blades, fighting fiercely, giving everything they've got. Ghislain spots an opening, ready to strike as Bernif hesitates. Bernif moves fast, countering Ghislain's attack with precise swordwork. Ghislain twists behind Bernif, landing a massive slash in retaliation. The blonde hero smirks, saying, "That again?" As rain pours down. Suddenly, the blonde hero goes on the offensive, launching a swift attack. The hero's eyes widen with tension, feeling the fight's intensity ramp up. The swordsman in black counters, spinning around with surprising strength and power. With a cold stare, the black swordsman warns, "It won't work twice." The black swordsman slams the hero into the ground, shattering tiles everywhere. The blonde hero grits his teeth, struggling to recover from that last blow. The swordsman in black lifts his weapon, preparing to strike again furiously. The black swordsman slashes down, nearly pinning the hero to the floor. The quick-thinking hero flips away, dodging the attack and regaining his footing. Ghislain realizes his opponent is using mana to withstand the fight. The masked swordsman calls Ghislain different, saying you never know till you fight. He critiques Ghislain's style, saying it's learned through battle, not training. The swordsman says chaotic battlefield skills won't work against him now. He declares to Ghislain that his deviation ends here, no more tricks. Ghislain admits this battle is as tough as he expected. Ghislain struggles as precise head thrusts and size difference overwhelm him. Ghislain regrets fighting, realizing this swordsman is beyond his level. A suspenseful pause, but you see, setting up for a dramatic reveal. Ghislain gets serious, saying he doesn't have much time left either. The guy in red hurls a glowing thread at the swordsman. The swordsman spots the thread and is totally confused. He realizes it's actually mana, and things just escalated. The red coat guy attacks and slams him, catching him off guard. The fight goes wild. He launches himself at the swordsman midair. An explosive punch lands straight on the swordsman's face. Beaten and dazed, the swordsman thinks, what did he just? Suddenly, a shocked ally screams, Bernif, from across the room. The red coat guy grabs a sword, towering over the beaten Bernif. He crushes down with incredible power. The swordsman barely defends. Ghislain takes a heavy slash from the blonde swordsman's surprise attack. The blonde fighter and Ghislain clash swords in an epic face-off. Ghislain dodges the attacker while the nobleman keeps up the pressure. Voiceover says, I cannot guarantee your safety at this rate. Ghislain urgently tells the lady, Milady, you need to get out of here. Ghislain powers up, fierce eyes blazing, vowing to give it his all. The blonde swordsman smirks, now that's what I like to see. He admits, I haven't met such an entertaining opponent in a long time. The lady sprints away down the hall, clutching her fluffy cat tightly. Angry and frustrated, the lady thinks, Ghislain, how dare he cause me humiliation. The maid rushes through the luxurious corridors, angry about a huge betrayal. She remembers wild rumors about a hero slaying orcs, doubting their truth. Her eyes narrow, determination and suspicion burning as she pieces everything together. She bursts into a room, questioning why her advance guards are missing. Shock hits as she finds her guards defeated, a mysterious figure waiting ahead. The hooded stranger stands alone among fallen guards, shrouded in an ominous glow. The hooded figure smirks, revealing herself and greeting the shocked maid confidently. The maid recoils in disbelief, recognizing Betr4yed's maid and demanding an explanation. Betr4yed's maid silences her with a quiet, dangerous, shish, raising the tension. Betr4yed's maid grabs the noblewoman, whispering, quiet, as the cat dangles helplessly. Out of nowhere, a girl realizes there's a spider crawling on her lips. She gets called out, you still have this unpleasant spider on your lips. The mysterious cloaked figure recalls eavesdropping during an important engagement ceremony. Flashback. Kids teased her about spiders, so she raised them and got her revenge. Is it trauma, or just you trying to prove a point? The figure questions. The spider drops to the ground, and the cloaked figure says, it doesn't suit you, my lady. The spider gets crushed underfoot, ending her connection with it in an instant. The figure asks for her cooperation, the smashed spider signaling no turning back. Suddenly, someone sprints away, while a determined swordsman gives chase down a blue-lit hall. The swordsman pauses, sensing the tension and says, the air is rough. This dark swordsman just unleashed an insane, overwhelming amount of mana energy. He faces off with a blonde swordsman, asking for an entertaining fight. With a sneer, he taunts, saying nobles shouldn't talk like mercenaries. The blonde fighter says, of course I'm a noble, don't forget your place. Both warriors charge, swords clashing as energy crackles through the grand hall. Someone calls out, young Lord Ghislain, as tension rises between them. Their blades collide, blue sparks flying, neither willing to back down. Up close, the swordsman yells, do not disgrace the nobility, ever. He launches a rapid, magical attack, surging at young Lord Ghislain. Ghislain's eyes widen in shock as he realizes the true danger. The swordsman in black launches a powerful downward attack at the blonde fighter. The blonde fighter's eyes widen as he tries to defend himself desperately. This guy. The blonde thinks, shocked by the relentless assault coming at him. The blonde admits his opponent is pushing forward with crazy fierce energy. Enough with that. The blonde angrily shouts, pulling himself together. Both fighters rush toward each other, blue energy lighting up their fast blades. The blonde fighter leaps, attacking downwards, not holding anything back now. The man in black calmly slashes back, eyes focused, refusing to surrender. Their swords clash with sparks, neither willing to back down even an inch. The older man flicks his sword, preparing for his next powerful counterattack. In an epic duel, two swordsmen clash with glowing blades in the arena. Ghislain, battered but determined, refuses to back down from his foe. The older swordsman mocks Ghislain, claiming that was his final attack. Both gladiators dash forward, one injured, the other fiercely pressing the assault. The older swordsman looks shocked as blood spatters across his intense face. Ghislain braced for injury, using his shoulder to push away the blade. The fight rages on, swords clashing in a powerful, explosive duel. However, things are about to take a wild turn in this fight. The older swordsman admits he can't let his guard down until the end. Ghislain and his rival circle each other, ready for the next attack. The blonde swordsman attacks fiercely, clashing blades with the dark-haired rival. The dark-haired rival says, this is the difference between us. The duel heats up as the dark-haired rival launches another fast strike. Blonde swordsman grits his teeth and prepares to counter the next attack. Blonde swordsman smirks. As expected, this is entertaining. The fight's rhythm is set by the rival's fast, relentless, and careful attacks. Blonde swordsman realizes he can't overpower his rival in their current clash. He admits, but I mean the mana I have right at this moment. The dark-haired rival thinks it's a shame to bring the fight here. Blonde swordsman charges powerfully, declaring, there's one thing you overlooked. Our hero reveals his unique mana cultivation technique with a burst of energy. He launches himself from the wall, activating his third core power. Determined, he grips his glowing sword, channeling vibrant mana energy. In midair, he clashes swords with a fierce black-clad opponent. The third core unleashed, both fighters collide in an epic duel. Their swords spark as they exchange rapid, intense blows at lightning speed. The bottle's energy explodes, shaking the entire castle as they attack. The black-haired swordsman turns, shocked, and calls him young Lord Ghislain. He wonders how Ghislain can unleash such explosive mana during battle. Ghislain's blade stops inches from his stunned opponent's face, victory secured. The sword-wielding hero faces off, shadowy figures watching the intense standoff unfold. The angry woman shoves a knife forward, demanding, take it. 10,000 gold. The hero sighs, what a hassle. Should have given it to me earlier. A frightened man freezes as a blade stops inches from his face. A maid jokes about a lover's quarrel, the hero casually explaining their disagreement. The hero confronts Emilia with bad news, pointing his sword dangerously close to her. The hero raises the price, fee just doubled. Now it's 20,000 gold. Guards are defeated and chaos erupts inside the grand hall instantly. A massive crash destroys a vase, sending pieces flying everywhere. In an elegant office, a woman and her guard face the aftermath. The guard apologizes for underestimating Ghislain's power and mana. The lady realizes Betr4yed is far stronger than before now. Her guard asks if they should report everything to the Delphine Duchy. The lady angrily warns the guard not to mention Duke Delphine. She explains exposure would doom them due to their secret pact. The lady reveals she allied with Delphine against Betr4yed, risking death. Determined, she vows they must kill Ghislain, no matter what it takes. The silver-haired commander glares forward and responds with a cold understood. A warrior updates, saying Ghislain has many light injuries and one serious wound. The commander reveals Ghislain is weak, having burned through much of his mana. The commander looks determined, pondering their next steps in this dangerous mission. Inside a lavish room, a noblewoman insists they avoid using their own knights. She explains there's a special group trained exactly for these situations. The commander is shocked to realize she means using the mysterious wildcats. Wildcat traffickers are exceptional fighters, drawn from orphans and those without status. The noblewoman orders a dozen wildcat specialists, skilled with mana, to gather immediately. The commander processes this strategy, understanding the grave seriousness of the plan. That ravine is the only way from Rayfold to Perdium, perfect for ambushes. The dark-haired guy says, I will get them prepared. With intense determination, someone swears revenge on Ghislain after being humiliated, their eye glowing red. The long-haired character plots, while the blonde guy rips his shirt preparing for action. The blonde guy worries, is it Emilia? His suspicion grows as tension rises. In a carriage, the young master reassures his worried companions, don't worry, it's nothing. The protagonist checks his wound, thinking the cuts aren't too deep despite overexertion. The blonde guy counts a chest of gold from Emilia, enough to rebuild their territory. He thinks it'd be great to kill Emilia, but war must be avoided for safety. Deciding to retreat, he knows Perdium is struggling enough with just the barbarians. I know the Archeum Merchants Guild secret. Emilia will have enough troubles already. Determined, the young man vows to use this opportunity wisely this time. Mysterious white-haired woman faces the young man with a steely gaze. Armored companion checks, so, things are going exactly as you said, right? The woman recaps her orders: subdue guards, capture Lady Emilia after fighting starts. The young man admits he told Fergus to do that, not her. Realization hits. The young man's eyes widen as a strange energy fills the air. The armored man rushes over, panicked, yelling, young master? As chaos erupts. The young man reveals opening the third core causes him painful recoil every time. He worries about his drained mana, knowing he must boost it fast. Someone grabs his hand. The blonde guy is shocked and asks, Belinda? While reaching for her hand. Belinda calmly explains, the flow of mana in your body is a mess. Suddenly, Belinda sends a surge of magical energy through the boy's hand. The boy's eyes widen in shock. He's realizing something intense is happening. The boy freezes with a stunned, almost comedic, expression on his face. He clutches his chest and magical energy shoots up from his body. Staring at his hand, he realizes his tangled mana road is finally clearing. The boy thinks, Belinda, I always knew she was never just a maid. The boy's gaze locks onto Belinda. Just who is this mysterious, powerful woman? The boy declares, we need as many skilled people as possible. This is only the beginning. The carriage speeds through the city as someone urgently calls, young master. The girl with white hair confronts him, asking about the money from Emilia. The blonde guy admits Emilia is the only rich person he knows. The white-haired girl and an older man are shocked by his response. She questions if that's why he broke the engagement, warning about Count Rayfold. The young master assures her that Amelia can't tell her father anything. He leans in, confidently asking, "You trust me, right?" She nervously agrees but insists on knowing his real plan for the money. Her eyes widen as he reveals the Forest of Beasts. The young master boldly declares he will pioneer the legendary Forest of Beasts. The young master asks Old Man Fergus about a promise made before entering. Old Man Fergus is caught off guard, nervously replying, "Young master." Fergus confirms he found the person requested, but hints something is off. The group argues in the carriage. One insists they cannot wander injured. The young master asks Belinda if Amelia will let them escape punishment. He thinks Amelia will hunt him down to keep secrets buried. Belinda brags about her strength, but the young master says that's not her role. The young master smirks and reveals he's looking for a vanguard instead. They leave town in their carriage, determined to meet this mysterious vanguard. Someone knocks on a wooden door, ready for the next major encounter. The group arrives at an abandoned-looking house, double-checking the address for clues. Suddenly, a hand appears, pulling open the creaky old door. An old, white-bearded man slowly steps out, emerging from the shadows. The white-bearded man glares out, demanding, "Who is this?" The armored warrior and his team stare at the old man, looking surprised. The blonde man confirms it's the right place, despite doubts about the old man's condition. The old man's eye narrows, suspicious and silently threatening the group. The blue armored man confronts the old man, who tells them to leave immediately. The leader steps forward, announcing himself as the ex-captain of the Ratatosk mercenaries, Ghislain. Ghislain's name triggers a fierce reaction, as the old man's eye glows with intensity. The old warrior stares intensely, his face filled with history and scars. The blonde man reaches out, saying, "I've longed to see you." The armored man gasps, "The Ratatosk mercenaries? That's only those who master most weapons could join the legendary Ratatosk mercenaries. Their bravery made them famous, every knight knew their name at least once. And the captain of that mercenary group is..." Suddenly, a powerful weapon spins through the air, shocking everyone present. The confident blonde man stands still, unfazed as the attack comes his way. Shocked faces react. Confusion and fear spread among allies and enemies alike. The old warrior extends his hand, realizing, "I see, so you know me." Four intimidating heroes confront a mysterious horned man surrounded by blazing energy. The old man glares and demands the group, "State your business." The white-haired woman warns, "Stand back, young master. That man is not sane." The white-haired woman reveals the curse called the Eternal Punishment. The horned man reacts in shock and dread to hearing that name. The woman offers a deal. "I know how to cure your daughter's mysterious illness." The young master smirks. "Does that pique your interest?" He's got their attention. The sick girl shivers with high fever, red vines and panic closing in. She coughs blood as red spots bloom, petals marking her cursed skin. The pain is so severe it looks like punishment, thus the disease's notorious name. Rachel screams in agony as a dark ritual called Eternal Punishment begins. The old man and his group burst into the room, shocked by Rachel's pain. The old man collapses to the ground, desperately crying out Rachel's name. The blonde guy says it's not too late, determined to do something. Narration reveals the old man lost hope and died after Rachel passed away. The blonde man realizes the house is filled only with weapons, nothing else remains. Rachel begs her father to end her pain while he cries her name. The blonde guy throws off his coat, ready to start Rachel's treatment immediately. Suddenly, a hand grabs blonde guy's shoulder, stopping him in his tracks. The white-haired woman tells him, "Let's go back, young master. These guys are facing a disease so bad, even priests call it punishment." The blonde guy confidently says he can fix her, shocking his companion. He looks back and reminds her, "You said you trust me, right?" The silver-haired girl stares, totally caught off guard by his confidence. He hands her a list and says, "Here, take this." He tells her to buy every herb on the note and return quickly. She looks at the note, shocked, exclaiming, "This is..." The blonde guy narrates, "For mercenaries like them, knowledge means survival." He reveals the disease is called Eternal Punishment, but believes a cure is coming. He remembers the cure method was simple and famous, and he still knows it. The only problem with this cure is how expensive the ingredients are. The boy pulls out the rare, glowing herb called Fairy's Blessing. He finally chops the Fairy's Blessing, preparing it for the potion. Mixing chopped herbs in a jar, distilled alcohol is poured over them. The boy shakes the jar vigorously, making the magical potion blend together. Next, he adds the last ingredients and gently stirs the glowing mixture. An old man receives the finished potion, staring at its bright purple glow. The boy tells the big old man, "Have her drink this now." With hope, the older man pours the potion into the injured girl's mouth. Holding her close, the old man makes sure she swallows every drop. Rachel is lying in bed, covered in red spots, looking lifeless. The camera zooms in close on Rachel's pale, unmoving face. Rachel's expression relaxes as the red spots begin to lose color. Several people gather around Rachel, shocked by what's happening to her. A white-haired woman exclaims the red spots are fading from Rachel's skin. The bearded man excitedly asks if the medicine worked on Rachel. The blonde guy calmly says, as expected, it works well, surprising the elder. The bearded man, stunned, can't believe not even divine power cured Rachel. The blonde explains divine power only helps recovery, not a fundamental cure. The bearded man's hands tremble as he tries to process this revelation. The old man begs a young guy, desperate to save his daughter. The young man confidently promises she'll be cured in a few months. Tears fill the old man's eyes as hope finally returns to him. Overwhelmed, the old man bows deeply before the mysterious young man. The old man asks what the stranger wants in return for this miracle. He admits all he can offer now is his weakened body. Desperate, the old man promises to do absolutely anything, even becoming a slave. The young man calmly says he doesn't want a slave at all. He reveals he needs Ghislain, captain of the Ratatosk mercenaries, to rise. The old man is stunned. He recognizes power and determination in the stranger's eyes. The eyes of a dreamer shine with determination and hope for greatness. The old man with wild hair clutches his head in frustration. With an axe in hand, the old man prepares for something drastic. The old man's long braid hits the floor as he cuts it off. The dreamer and his companions stand boldly, ready for anything together. The armored group is shocked, not believing what they're seeing unfold now. With blue energy, the old man appears totally transformed and unrecognizable. The newly transformed old man walks away as the dreamer looks on. The old man questions if anyone else is coming or searching for them. The dreamer calmly responds that it's just the group here, nobody else. The white-haired man asks if anyone holds a grudge against the other. The blonde guy says he does, and expects more grudges in the future. The white-haired man grabs his spear, blue energy surrounding his hand. He unleashes a powerful energy attack, blasting straight at his opponent. The explosive blast crashes into the ground, shaking the entire room. The white-haired man leaps forward, closing the distance with force. He skillfully twirls a rope, swinging it with precision and speed. The rope wraps around a crackling ball of energy, pulling it closer. Using the rope, he swings high, trapping his opponent's weapon mid-air. With lightning speed, he grabs the masked attacker by the neck. The hooded villain is caught by surprise and struggles in fear. The giant holds the villain up, asking the blonde what to do. The blonde readies his blade, admitting he didn't want to fight. The giant stops the blonde, signaling him not to intervene yet. The giant declares, "Please, leave this to me," taking control. The giant uses brutal force against the masked villain, showing no mercy. A white-haired girl watches the aftermath, tension rising in the room. She thinks the giant killed without hesitation and questions his recruitment. The giant kneels, addressing the blonde as young master Ghislain Betr4yed. The giant boldly swears loyalty, leaving his fate in Ghislain's hands. With this, I've secured a crucial card for the reconstruction plan. The blonde guy smirks, saying he looks forward to working with Ghislain. News hits at night. A reconnaissance unit has been killed near a cabin. Several cloaked figures storm into the cabin, freaking out at the news. Someone orders silence, showing fangs under their hood. Viega, leader of the wildcat traffickers, demands everyone lower their voices. His followers apologize quickly, hoping not to get on Viega's bad side. Viega questions the intelligence, suspicious about how the unit was discovered. It's revealed Ghislain has switched sides, joining the enemy group. Viega reacts instantly, grabbing one of his subordinates by the neck. The hooded villain grabs someone and growls, "Are you sure?" A frightened minion nervously confesses, "Why yes, I saw it with my own eyes." The villain grins, eyes glowing red. "Finally, you're starting to make a move." The villain thinks furiously, remembering my former captain. At night, a mysterious armored driver speeds a carriage with 2 horses. Inside, a silver-haired warrior complains, "It's suffocating in here." She groans about the overflowing weapons, blaming the arms dealer's obsession. The blonde traveler reassures her, "We needed a new carriage for Rachel anyway." The scene shifts to another carriage, the rearguard, Fergus and Ricardo, standing watch. The blonde explains, he has a use for all of it, so bear with it. Escaping the rift is their top priority as danger creeps closer. The white-haired girl confirms the watcher was likely sent by Lady Amelia. She's worried. This mysterious watcher could mean serious trouble ahead. The mask reveals he's part of the powerful Wildcat Traffickers Guild. The blonde boy is surprised and repeats, "The Wildcat Traffickers, huh?" Wildcat Traffickers deal in smuggling, assassination, and other illegal activities. The girl explains they're vile scum. Many are skilled ex-mercenaries. The boy asks how Belinda knows all this just from the castle. Embarrassed, Belinda admits she heard a lot before she started working. Belinda warns, "They're persistent, so be careful," but pretends everything's fine. The young hero boldly says, "Because we have Ghislain," while glancing back determinedly. Their wagon speeds through a dark forest, heading into uncertain danger ahead. The cart races up a rocky hill under the eerie moonlight, tension rising fast. Suddenly, ghostly dragon shapes appear from the trees and dive at the wagon. Ghislain narrows his eyes, ready for anything with fierce determination and focus. An explosion bursts from the ground, sending dirt and chaos flying everywhere. Ghislain leaps from the wagon, recognizing the ambush coming from beneath him. In a flash, Ghislain clashes weapons with mysterious masked attackers, sparks flying wildly. Steel collides in a frantic duel as Ghislain counters the attacker's surprise assault. Ghislain turns the tables, striking back ferociously and forcing the masked villains to retreat. An armored hand grips a bloody axe, ready for a fierce fight. The white-haired warrior slams the axe into the ground, unleashing power. Hooded enemies charge with daggers, but the defenders refuse to back down. More masked assassins close in, their blades flashing in the darkness. Suddenly, a huge tree falls, blocking the wagon's path with a loud crash. The old man shouts, "A trap? At this rate, we'll be crushed." The wagon's horses rear up in panic as the path is destroyed. From above, you can see their only escape blocked by fallen trees. A young blonde says calmly, "An ambush, as expected." He's not surprised. The mysterious attackers surround the wagon, their swords aimed and ready. The masked villain calls out the former captain, Ghislain, for his reputation. Meet Ghislain, the fierce ex-captain with an epic beard and stare. The villain mocks Ghislain, calling him a coward for disbanding mercenaries. Ghislain brushes it off, saying, "I don't know what you're talking about." Ghislain looks determined, not backing down from the confrontation at all. The villain blames Ghislain for ruining his life and forgetting old comrades. Smirking, the villain threatens, "He'll make you remember me, Ghislain." The villain commands his mercenaries, "Kill them," and the battle begins. A young ally offers Ghislain help, but Ghislain says he's got this covered. Ghislain stands tall, ready to fight, saying, "I should be fine on my own." The old warrior charges through his enemies, his axe cutting with precision. "Damn you, old man." One of the enemies shouts in rage. The old man readies himself, looking unstoppable as enemies close in. He blocks one attacker while striking another with a swift counter. In a single motion, he sends the second enemy flying back, outmatched. An assassin tries to catch the old man off guard, but fails miserably. The old man lands a fierce blow, finishing off another masked enemy. As expected, he's just as strong as he used to be. However, the masked leader orders, "Units, spread out into two groups, surround him." The old man bolts onto his horse, ready for the next round of chaos. Two hooded attackers spot something weird and yell, "The horse." A bearded warrior on horseback swings his massive weapon, charging into action. The warrior rides directly into a group of enemies, totally fearless. He raises his weapon high, his horse galloping full speed towards foes. With unstoppable force, the warrior smashes through attackers, scattering everyone in his way. One attacker complains, I can't get near him." As another shouts orders, the white-haired warrior slashes, creating a glowing, powerful shockwave. Magic energy swirls as enemies are knocked away by his brutal assault. Nearby, a wagon carrying frightened passengers is caught in the chaos. Suddenly, an enemy leaps from above, trying a sneak attack on the warrior. The white-haired warrior raises his shield, preparing for a deadly showdown. The masked villain accuses, "Since you ruined my life, don't hinder my work." The masked attacker rains down a fiery blow onto the shielded warrior. "I'll make sure to kill you," the red-eyed villain threatens, daggers ready. The villain leaps airborne, hurling projectiles at the white-haired warrior and his horse. The horse collapses, the warrior is thrown, blood streaks as the fight grows brutal. The masked attacker thrusts a sharp blade straight toward the white-haired warrior's back. The warrior counters fiercely, spinning to strike back against the relentless masked enemy. A voice calmly declares, "I am not the captain of the Ratatosk mercenaries." Weapons clash again as the white-haired warrior blocks another powerful attack head-on. The hooded villain looks furious, gritting his teeth and ready to attack. The masked attacker charges forward, but gets knocked to the ground hard. The white-haired warrior asks, You claim to not be the captain." The hooded villain snaps, demanding to know who the actual captain is. The white-haired warrior says he has discarded his past while gripping a glowing weapon. He claims loyalty to young Lord Ghislain, showing no fear or regret. The hooded villain's eyes turn red as he shouts, "You." The cloak-wearing attacker screams, "I will kill you at all costs," and lunges forward. Under the pouring rain, chaos erupts with a flurry of violent clashes. The hooded man and the warrior with white hair clash swords fiercely. The battle intensifies as the hooded man delivers a powerful punch. "The mercenary company was disbanded after you left," the white-haired warrior reveals. The hooded man yells, blaming the warrior for losing all purpose in life. The white-haired warrior's expression hardens, gripping his weapon, ready for payback. Locked in combat, the hooded man and white-haired warrior exchange fast strikes. The white-haired warrior launches a deadly spinning attack, forcing the hooded man back. The hooded man dodges swiftly as the warrior's blade slices past him. The hooded man twists, barely escaping as energy bursts from the warrior's attack. The bearded warrior raises his shield, bracing for a massive attack. The masked figure tells Ghislain his whole life was for the mercenaries. Hooded guy confronts Ghislain, saying he wasted everything for a noble. The masked warrior's eye glows red, swearing he can't forgive Ghislain. Blue energy blades launch fiercely from the masked attacker's weapon. Ghislain blocks the energy assault, shield straining under the impact. Projectiles crash into the ground, sending dirt and dust flying everywhere. Ghislain launches the masked attacker high into the air with a counter. Masked figure descends rapidly, aiming his weapon at Ghislain's head. Their powerful attacks collide midair, shaking the very battlefield itself. The hooded figure shouts Ghislain's name, eyes blazing with determination and anger. A fierce battle breaks out, as the past captain's strength is questioned. The hooded figure taunts, focusing on their relentless training and bitter resentments. He yells that Ghislain is no longer a match for him now. The hooded warrior's foot slams the ground, preparing for his next attack. 3 spinning coins fly towards Ghislain as the clash intensifies. Ghislain is struck hard in the jaw, reeling from the surprise blow. The bearded man braces himself, gripping his hatchet, ready to retaliate. Ghislain dodges as the hooded figure comes spinning through the air at him. With a wild scream, the hooded fighter declares, "It's over, Ghislain." The armored warrior channels powerful blue energy, readying his glowing blade for battle. The white-haired fighter questions his masked opponent's motive, demanding the truth. The masked character panics, realizing his enemy cloaked his hand in mana. With a burst of speed, the white-haired man strikes the masked foe hard. The impact sends both of them flying, energy exploding where they collided. The masked fighter crashes, barely catching himself under the massive nearby tree. The older warrior walks forward, saying calmly, "I do not understand." The masked enemy retorts, pointing out there were plenty of revenge chances before. The white-haired man challenges him, "Why didn't you come to kill me earlier?" The masked fighter laughs ominously, hinting the warrior only knows part of the truth. The masked figure reveals they visited the place where the old man stayed. There was no legendary captain of the Ratatosk mercenaries to be found. All that was left was a weak old man, not worth killing. The masked figure wonders where the respected Ghislain vanished to. Ghislain, now old, looks determined and emotional, tears in his eyes. The masked figure challenges Ghislain, telling him to pick up his weapon. Ghislain grips his sword, admitting he's controlled by another's will. Ghislain stands tall, ready for battle, gripping both sword and sling. He vows to honor his old comrade with the greatest respect possible. With fierce eyes, Ghislain declares himself the true Ratatosk mercenaries captain. The hooded figure turns, whispering yes, as the tension rises instantly. He grips his blade, smirking, "Now we're talking," ready for battle. White-haired warrior and masked fighter clash, sparks flying as swords meet hard. The masked fighter laughs wildly, shouting, "That's exactly what I wished for." Both warriors unleash a blazing flurry of attacks, pushing each other's limits. White-haired warrior goes in with a powerful overhead strike, eyes locked tight. Hooded fighter bends low, dodging with fast reflexes and launching a counterattack. Savage back and forth continues, blades and energy slicing through the arena air. The two fighters circle, exchanging epic blows, neither willing to back down. In a close-up brawl, the white-haired warrior lands a punch right to his gut. The masked warrior gets smashed to the ground, blood covering his face instantly. Two armored fighters clash in an intense, high-speed battle for survival. The bearded fighter raises his axe, ready to deliver a finishing blow. "I will remember you," echoes as a powerful promise through the chaos. The masked man is revealed as 5th Unit Commander of the Ratatosk mercenaries. The bearded warrior states his name Viega Villanos, unyielding and intense. The battered commander stares ahead, blood streaking his mask, shocked and defeated. A bloodied sword lies on the ground, the battle's cost is clear. Viega reaches down, retrieving his weapon next to the fallen enemy. Viega Villanos stands victorious, looking down at his defeated opponent's lifeless form. The white-haired warrior praises his team, saying, "Good work," after the battle. They talk about selling loot, hoping to make some serious cash. The blue-haired warrior apologizes for delays, but the others say it's fine. The blonde guy thinks, "Ghislain. He's far more exceptional than expected." Blonde mercenary recalls how stories of Ghislain pushed him toward becoming the mercenary king. The blonde warrior asks, "Do you remember who he was?" glancing at his comrade. Ghislain confirms with a solemn, "Yes," gripping a bloody knife tightly. Ghislain reveals, "He was my old comrade," under the moonlit sky, looking reflective. The blonde mercenary quietly repeats, "Old comrade, huh," thinking about the past. He wonders what his old comrades are doing now, feeling nostalgic under the night sky. The blonde character thinks about scouting talented people for his team someday. The group discusses searching for valuables and jokes about Mr. Ghislain taking lead. 2 days later, they travel to Peridum territory in a covered wagon. After a long journey, the group finally arrives near the city of Peridum. The blonde character confirms to the others that they have reached Peridum. He reflects on how good it feels to have a home to return to. Ghislain silently ponders as they approach the landscape in their wagon. They ask Ghislain what he thinks about their homeland, and he replies awkwardly. Ghislain comments bluntly, saying the land is actually pretty bad. The blonde character explains the land's problems: outdated houses and abandoned, uncultivated fields. The old general realizes the war with northern barbarians is worse than stories. The white-haired girl suspects the general didn't know the land this well before. The blonde hero promises to fix everything but asks for the general's strength. They know an epic battle is coming to defend the land from Duke Delphine. The blonde hero swears to revive his homeland, no matter what happens ahead. The group travels by carriage through empty streets, heading deeper into danger. The white-haired girl urgently warns the young master to look outside quickly. The blonde hero's eyes widen in realization as he spots something shocking. He sees the silhouette of a towering castle, sensing something huge is up. The blonde hero recognizes a familiar armored knight and whispers, "Father." Betr4yed Castle towers over the land, home to intense strategy meetings. Tensions rise as someone says, "We'll need to reduce our forces." The knights debate, worried that fewer troops means danger at the front. Homerun reveals outside forces are stockpiling food and gathering soldiers. The leader explains they must rebuild after the orc battle, despite the risk. The blonde leader reacts coolly with, "Same old, same old." We meet Betr4yed Knight Captain Randolph, looking super serious. Next up, the stone-faced treasurer Albert, ready to talk money. And finally, Betr4yed's wise-looking general administrator Homerun joins the debate. The leader wonders, how long has it been? As the pressure mounts, this young lord has only ruled Paradum for a few months, but as the mercenary king, he's got decades of experience. The blonde young man greets someone with a calm, "Welcome back." He notices his father entering and urgently exclaims, "Father." As a kid, he didn't like his dad being strict or serious. Count Paradum, Zwalder Paradum, responds with a simple, Now, the young lord realizes something important about his father. He finally sees the burden of responsibility weighing down Zwalder's shoulders. Zwalder sips tea, saying, "I heard you were away from the castle for about a week." The young lord replies plainly, "I visited the Rayfalds." Zwalder asks if there was any trouble, and the young lord insists, "I did not." The older man tells the young lord about his surprising duel victory. The older man asks if the young lord went there to gamble. The young lord insists he only did business, not gamble, with Amelia. The older advisor reminds the young lord to think before acting. The advisor mentally complains about the young lord ignoring his advice. More people join, and the elder declares the conversation over with, "That's enough." The young lord gets called out for making trouble while someone was away. The man with long blonde hair questions about executing Jamal and Philip. The young lord remembers the guys accused of selling Elena with a cold look. Another knight claims the young lord only gave the final blow, not executed them. The blonde guy worries about trouble with Randolph and decides to play it safe. The long-haired knight smirks, saying he always knew what was going on. Someone tells the blonde guy great job, and he's totally shocked by it. The armored man says Elena being alive is the only thing that matters. The blonde guy realizes this is his very first compliment from his father. The blonde guy bravely asks his father if he can request something big. Two older guys quickly warn him not to ask for money again. The knights complain about his past antics, gambling, burning gates, melting armor. The blonde guy sits with everyone and just asks for their permission, nothing more. He stuns the whole room by asking to explore the forest of beasts. Our main character stares ahead, determined and ready to make big moves. He reveals, Dad said no, but he clearly has his own plans. He vents to his friends about his dad shouting, warning of monsters. The main character confirms his plan to explore the dangerous forest, funding secured. The older man explains nobody returns alive from the forest of death. The blonde guy acknowledges the risks but hints there's something worth discovering. He and the large man head out, the woman yelling they never had permission. He smirks, saying permission was just a courtesy, this mission can't wait. The woman wonders why he's so obsessed, he promises to explain later. He thinks to himself, pioneering the forest could earn him a massive fortune. Not far from the forest's entrance, something incredible is hiding underground. A jaw-dropping vein of shimmering runestone crystals is buried right there. These runestones are pure magic ore, ultra-rare and worth a fortune. Mages use runestone for everything: magic tools, scrolls, and crazy enchantments. Even alchemy and magic research rely on runestones to work their spells. In my last life, Duke Delphine found it, but now it's my secret weapon. The determined blonde hero is ready to change fate with this knowledge. A serious white-haired woman stands ready, waiting for the next command. In the office, the hero commands. The team agrees to follow his lead. He orders Belinda to hire 200 mercenaries. He's all in on this plan. The old man warns the young lord that mercenaries are unpredictable and dangerous. The young lord decides they'll personally choose the best fighters together. Their target is the most skilled northern small-scale mercenary group out there. The old man realizes their plan involves the notorious group known as Crazy Dogs. These mercenaries are powerful but could betray their boss if things go bad. The young lord dramatically reveals their name, the Cerberus Mercenaries. The duo travels toward the mercenary camp, determined to confront the dangerous group. The Cerberus Mercenaries camp is wild, with members fighting and chaos everywhere. Through a scope, the incoming young lord and the old man are closely watched. Hooded mercenaries notice the new arrivals, mocking that they have no clue what's coming. These bandits spot a noble-looking kid and plan to get rich quick. Suddenly, a huge gloved hand slams down, catching everyone off guard. The bandits freak out, screaming, as someone goes down hard. This blue-haired powerhouse launches an ambush, charging right into the group. One bandit gets crushed and screams in pain, totally confused by the attack. The hooded bandit is flung back, unable to resist the surprise blow. The blue-haired guy's attack explodes in the center, scattering everyone instantly. Shocked, the other tough guys stare in disbelief. This isn't going how they planned. Armored soldiers panic, yelling to prepare for battle against the blue-haired brute. As he steps forward, they realize status means nothing against raw strength. The armored captain warns, don't expect to return home alive, intimidating everyone. The captain stares coldly, showing no fear and full confidence. A blonde young man rides confidently towards the camp, ignoring the threat. He says, shut it and bring me your captain, not backing down. The young man faces the armored group, unfazed by their numbers or weapons. Cool and calm, the young man asks, who's the captain here? The captain smirks, amused, and lets out a mocking hee. Captain mocks, a noble brat has lost his mind, it seems, with heavy sarcasm. Captain grins and swings his chain weapon, saying, it's time for you to learn. The captain attacks fiercely, yelling, what it means to take responsibility. The blonde swordsman suddenly faces a massive spiked mace coming at him fast. That huge mace slams down, its chain crackling with energy in midair. An older warrior with white hair yanks the chained mace with overwhelming strength. Two armored knights look on, shocked by what's unfolding right in front of them. The armored enemy shouts, realizing someone shoved their blade into the swinging chain. The mace smashes into the ground, sending dirt and force flying everywhere around them. The blonde swordsman knows talking is useless. These knights refuse to listen. He commands, do just enough that they survive, and nothing more. The older warrior swings his sword with precision, following the order exactly as told. The enemy holding the chain recoils in pain, their weapon blocked by expert skill. The bearded warrior charges ahead, swinging his chain weapon at armored foes. He powers up his spiked chain, channeling energy for a massive attack. With insane strength, he smashes an enemy with one devastating blow. You bastards, we won't go easy on you just 'cause you're a noble. The warrior blocks a sword strike, chain weapon ready for his counterattack. He flips and slams another armored opponent with flawless acrobatic precision. The bearded warrior launches an enemy sky high, the soldiers scatter in panic. Intense and determined, the old warrior prepares for his next big move. More intimidating soldiers in armor appear, tightening the circle around the hero. Mysterious boots land in the battlefield, hinting at a new challenger's arrival. The blue giant and the blonde noble wait impatiently by their horse. The blonde noble stares fiercely, demanding to see the captain immediately. A shirtless man asks why there's such a loud commotion outside. Mercenaries in armor gather, clearly alerted and getting ready for something serious. The shirtless man introduces himself as the captain of the Cerberus mercenaries, K1lled. K1lled stands tall, surrounded by his armored squad, asking why he's being sought. The noble requests work from K1lled, but K1lled questions his treatment of the squad. K1lled tells the noble he should know better manners as a noble. The noble claims this rough approach is his way of greeting K1lled. K1lled grins, wondering what deeper chaos another greeting would cause. The negotiation starts with someone saying, all right, fine. Let's hear it. Armored knights stand by as the red-haired man asks about their request. The red-haired man wants something involving the dangerous forest of beasts. The white-haired guy wants to hire someone to pioneer the forest. The knights whisper nervously about the monster-filled forest of beasts. The red-haired man doubts anyone would dare stir up such a deadly forest. The young lord reveals his identity, declaring himself as Ghislain. The red-haired man appears surprised, processing the young lord's shocking reveal. The knights shout, realizing this is the crazy young lord of the rumors. The red-haired man mocks Ghislain, saying the forest's no place for a rookie. The armored guards close in as the leader declares, negotiation is over. A bearded mercenary with an axe watches the blonde man on a barrel. The tough mercenary asks, leaning in with a glare, are you scared? The blonde calmly smirks, calling the mercenary group a hoax. Boots slam down, showing someone is about to take a stand. The mercenary props his legs up, warning not to mess with his crew. The blonde mocks, saying only weaklings make excuses for their actions. The mercenary looks tense, holding back his anger at the blonde. The mercenary laughs, calling the blonde a brat and demanding payment. Defiant, the blonde looks down and says coldly, no, that won't happen. Meet K1lled, captain of the Cerberus mercenaries, setting the stage. K1lled throws down a challenge Moriana's recognition against his rival. The armored soldiers and a silver-haired man react in total shock. The red-haired man glares, asking, do you even know what that is? K1lled shoots back confidently, of course I do, eyes glowing blue. Moriana's recognition, a legendary mercenary betting duel, winner takes all. Two fighters tie their arms, wielding one dagger, no magic allowed. Step outside the tiny circle and you instantly lose the fight. Most duels end badly, sometimes even the winner doesn't make it out. The loser must obey and serve the winner, becoming the winner's dog. The young noble confidently asks, how does that sound? With a smirk. An old mercenary wonders how a noble knows their secret traditions. Someone grins, clearly excited about the upcoming challenge ahead. Armored mercenaries gather, surrounding the noble and his rival inside. The red-haired leader announces the noble wants respect through mercenary rules. He smirks menacingly, why don't we help him a bit? To his men. The noble and his rival have their wrists tied tightly together. The two stand in a fighting ring, surrounded by a cheering mercenary crowd. The rival taunts the noble, reminding him there's no turning back now. The fight kicks off fast, with the noble dodging an aggressive first attack. The shirtless guy claims he's already won this challenge 5 times before. The blonde guy faces the shirtless challenger, surrounded by armored onlookers. The blonde guy, surprised, repeats in disbelief 5 times. The shirtless guy launches a powerful attack at the blonde guy. The blonde guy flexes and says he's done this over 100 times. The blonde fighter clashes blades with the red-haired guy in midair. Both fighters lock eyes, their focus at the absolute maximum level. From above, the intense knife fight is fast and totally brutal. The red-haired guy swings, but the blonde dodges with crazy reflexes. A powerful attack from the red-haired fighter nearly catches the blonde off guard. The blonde bends, dodging another furious swipe from his opponent. Twisting around, the blonde guy counters with an unexpected spinning punch. The red-haired fighter pivots away, narrowly avoiding the counterattack. Out of nowhere, the blonde lands a glowing kick to his opponent's side. With a defiant glare, the blonde fighter holds strong, ready for round 2. The red-haired fighter taunts the blonde, doubting his incredible achievement claims. The red-haired fighter says, if you're going to bluff, he unleashes a powerful attack, yelling to make the bluff believable. The crowd surrounds them, demanding the defeat of the struggling noble brat. An older, bearded warrior watches tensely as armored soldiers stand behind him. The old warrior declares it a losing battle while looking intensely at the fight. The rules force fighters to use only physical strength in a cramped circle. Their hands are tied together, size difference limits movement for the blonde. The young lord struggles, barely dodging or blocking the other's fierce attacks. The bigger opponent has every chance to dominate and control the brutal fight. If things get really bad, there's a backup plan in place. The silver-haired warrior gets ready for a desperate move. Suddenly, the blonde swordsman pins down his red-haired opponent. The blonde fighter flips his enemy over with insane strength. Dashing on the battlefield, the blonde swordsman prepares for another attack. Blonde swordsman's intense focus shows he won't give up just yet. He feels pain stacking up without mana protection, but keeps pushing forward. The red-haired fighter mocks, looking pale. Are you at your limit already? He taunts Ghislain, calling him pathetic but admits he's gutsy. All that courage? According to his rival, it just isn't enough. The red-haired fighter taunts, I can see right through you. He reveals the blonde fighter's strategy: deflect or dodge strikes using his weapon. The red-haired fighter explains, absorbing blows with your body means taking cumulative damage. Since mana is banned, every impact starts stacking up in this brutal fight. He notices the blonde fighter's fatigue, pointing out the strain in his legs and face. The red-haired fighter now smirks, daring, let's see your struggle. He shouts, that's what makes this fun, as the blonde fighter readies his attack. The red-haired opponent skillfully spins his daggers, preparing a new aggressive move. Both fighters clash fiercely, weapons moving fast and tension sky-high on the battlefield. Another vicious swing. Red-haired fighter presses the attack, forcing the blonde fighter back. The shirtless fighter clashes swords with the blonde in an intense battle. The blonde ducks under the sword, grabbing the opponent's waist tightly. Intense focus as the blonde prepares a counterattack, energy surging around him. The blonde's eyes narrow, determined as he lifts his knee for a strike. Powerful knee hit lands straight into the shirtless fighter's side, surprising him. Electric energy surrounds the blonde's knee, showing he's not giving up yet. The shirtless fighter smirks confidently and declares, all right, it's over. His hand grips the sword tightly, ready for a decisive, final move. With a furious yell, the shirtless fighter aims the blade downward, shouting, die. Armored guards and an old man yell, young lord, in shock and desperation. The shirtless fighter slams his glowing blade toward the blonde's back. The red-haired man traps the blonde opponent, preparing for a crushing attack. The red-haired fighter thinks, he dodged with that stance. The blonde man surprises everyone by slipping under the giant's legs. The blonde swings powerfully, catching his shirtless enemy completely off guard. The shirtless fighter is wounded and stares in total shock and confusion. Nearby guards and a bearded elder are utterly stunned by the turn of events. The red-haired fighter attacks with fury, blade flashing toward the quick blonde. The blonde expertly dodges another swing, never losing focus or momentum. The blonde finally lands a decisive hit. The shirtless fighter is visibly defeated. The crowd erupts as the blonde noble wounds the mercenary captain again. The soldiers cheer, believing their captain will crush the noble with brute strength. The red-haired captain swings violently at the determined blonde noble. The captain struggles, pushing himself as he closes in on the noble. The blonde noble, focused and steady, raises his bloody dagger to strike. With lightning speed, the blonde noble lands a powerful punch to the captain. The blonde noble lifts his dagger in a decisive and threatening motion. He slams the dagger down, striking the captain's arm with precision. The captain, furious, throws a haymaker, determined to fight back harder. The captain demands answers, confused by the noble's newfound unstoppable strength. The old general's eyes narrow as he mutters, I see. The red-haired warrior attacks with brute strength, losing speed and flexibility. The young lord calmly redirects the force, cutting through his larger opponent. Watching closely, someone is shocked the young lord counters his size disadvantage. The injured red-haired man is mocked by his team for not being funny. The young lord praises the captain's resolve for respecting the rules under pressure. The captain defends his experience, saying rule breakers don't last in battle. The young lord smirks, approving of the captain's commitment, saying, I like that. The captain admits he's at a disadvantage in a straight-up fight. The captain's eyes burn with determination. Winning isn't just about brute force. The white-haired guy is caught off guard by the red-haired fighter's attack. The rule is clear: step outside the circle, and you instantly lose. The red-haired fighter launches his opponent, aiming to force him out. He taunts, saying it doesn't matter how skilled you are in battle. The red-haired guy shouts, I win. Thinking he's already secured victory, he grips his bloody knife, confident that the fight is in his hands now. The white-haired guy is thrown but clings desperately to the ground's edge. The two fighters struggle fiercely, locked in combat inside the circle. The red-haired fighter swings hard, sending white hair flying toward the boundary. At the last second, white hair clutches his opponent's arm, refusing to lose. The blonde fighter parries a strike and surprises the burly opponent instantly. With a fast move, the blonde flips his rival onto the ground. The blonde follows up, slamming the red-haired fighter hard, dominating the duel. Armored soldiers surround the fierce combatants, watching the epic showdown unfold closely. Soldiers gasp, realizing the red-haired fighter is out of the challenge circle. The red-haired fighter, defeated, hears, it's over, as he hits the ground. The blonde grins confidently and declares, I win. Kaor, in disbelief, demands to know the blonde's secret fighting skills. The blonde says he doesn't like Kaor's attitude, calling himself Kaor's master. The duel started intensely inside the circle, both fighters clashing their full strength. The red-haired fighter says, what do you want? The fight's over. The red-haired guy refuses, claiming, you haven't gone outside the circle just yet. Blonde hero glares, fist raised, declaring, I'll be disciplining my subordinate now. The blonde character punches the red-haired guy fiercely, not holding back at all. Crowd reacts as the blonde knocks his opponent down inside the fighting circle. Red-haired fighter pleads, wait. The rules say if you step out, he gets decked hard again mid-sentence, not allowed to finish his plea. Blonde holds him down, scolding, are you going to fight by the rules in battle? Blonde pins and punches, commanding, don't talk back to your master. The red-haired fighter chokes out, you lunatic, while getting crushed. The white-haired guy is absolutely destroying everyone with non-stop punches in the ring. Guards nervously watch as a bloody fight rages. The bet is finished. The battered man screams, begging for mercy, but the blonde guy doesn't stop. From above, you see blood and sweat as the fight gets even more intense. You're not out of the circle yet, taunts the white-haired fighter with a cold stare. The bruised, red-haired man looks horrified, realizing he can't escape this defeat. The red-haired guy yells at the soldiers, demanding them to save him now. The armored soldiers answer the call, hurrying forward with swords drawn. Suddenly, a giant warrior grabs his battle axe, blocking the soldiers' path. He warns, anyone interfering with the young lord's punishment will be killed. The armored knights flinch as something intense happens right in front of them. A beaten and bloody man stares ahead, barely managing to keep his eyes open. He grits his teeth, blood dripping as he struggles to stay conscious. A silver-haired guy gets in his face and calmly asks, are you done? The bloody man lets out a mocking laugh, defiantly ignoring the pain. The silver-haired guy swings, knocking the battered man down, calling nobles losers. He describes every noble he's ever met as overconfident, traitorous narcissists. The mad dog uses scare tactics, making nobles beg at his feet. Taking gold from these terrified nobles becomes his favorite form of entertainment. And that's how he earned the fearsome underworld title, Mad Dog. The wounded fighter wonders why he's losing to this mysterious noble kid. Soldiers panic as the noble holds their defeated captain and blood covers the arena. The blonde noble dangles his opponent and calmly asks if this is enough. Noble demands water, bandages, and a towel while knights stand frozen in shock. He warns the soldiers their captain will die soon without help. The armored soldiers are stunned, not sure how to react to all this. Outside, someone shouts understood. While the rain pours over a bleak mountainside, a wary older warrior watches as the noble still grips the injured man's arm. Close up, the old warrior narrows his eyes, clearly sizing up the young lord. Mercenaries, usually wild, suddenly obey every command from the young noble lord. In a world run by mercenaries, fighting always comes before the law. The young lord proves himself using the wildest, most unstoppable method possible. The red-haired mercenary stares nervously as the contract is pushed toward him. The blonde young lord demands a signature on the contract, no questions asked. The beaten mercenary hesitates, realizing he's got no choice but to comply. Through gritted teeth, the mercenary grumbles and reluctantly starts signing the paper. Here, the mercenary says, sliding the freshly signed contract back to the lord. The young lord leans in coldly, questioning if the signature was put in the right place. Shaken, the mercenary switches to polite mode, trying to save his own skin. The young lord smirks, slams his hand down, and finalizes the brutal agreement. The blonde leader declares, we're a family from now on, uniting everyone. The blonde leader smiles, shaking hands, I look forward to working with you. A few days later, the scene moves to the outskirts of per diem territory. Troops gather outside the city, armored and prepared, ready for new orders. Two tired soldiers complain about being called so early for work. Mercenaries gossip about their employer being per diem's young lord, doubting his skill. An eye patch wearing mercenary grins, thinking this job will be easy. Someone calls for attention, clapping hands loudly to gather the group's focus. A massive, shirtless man steps forward, suggesting they need a representative. A stunned mercenary recognizes the huge figure as Gordon the Muscle. Gordon flexes and calls out the group for lazy reward-chasing schemes. The armored squad talks strategy, remembering a failed attempt to unite before. Gordon grins, asking his group what their next move is here. Gordon boasts, demanding his compensation for leading and handling negotiations. The crew agrees Gordon is perfect for leadership, his muscles are intimidating. Suddenly, one guard warns everyone, spotting someone approaching their meeting spot. A lone figure appears on a forest path, heading toward the group's base. The approaching rider closes in, with a castle looming in the background. The guards gossip about the rider, thinking he's their employer and easily scared. Gordon commands the group to create a threatening vibe for the incoming guest. The big, muscular guy cracks his knuckles, ready to teach a lesson. Intense eyes lock on, totally focused and brimming with confidence. A mysterious group rides out from the castle, dust rising behind them. The young blonde leader and his squad look determined on horseback. The goon panics, realizing they're facing the infamous Cerberus mercenaries. One mercenary wonders how the leader got such wild guys to follow. The powerful group approaches, facing off against the waiting brutes. The blonde leader stares down at the big guy, calm and unbothered. "Are you the representative?" the blonde leader asks the suddenly nervous brute. The leader leans in, cool and fearless, and demands, "Your name?" Gordon nervously introduces himself as Gordon the Muscle in front of everyone. The blonde young lord looks curious and repeats, "Gordon the Muscle?" While on a horse, the young lord approves, calling it a cool name. A voice boldly declares, "I am the young lord of Paradum." Gordon stands strong, introducing the young lord as Ghislain Paradum, leader of many. Ghislain, riding away, orders Gordon to gather all the mercenaries nearby. Ghislain smirks, announcing they'll pioneer the mysterious forest of beasts today.